and welcome to IndyStar Friday Night Live, presented by Bath Experts, the only show that brings you the week's biggest Indiana high school football games wherever you are. So you see every thrilling finish, every must-see play, and all of the gridiron stars of tomorrow today. I'm your host, Justin Mack, coming to you live from the IndyStar newsroom, and joining me this week to my left is a man who knows a thing or two about Indiana high school football. You probably know his name. This is our IndyStar high school sports insider, Kyle Denenrip. Kyle, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing good, Justin. I enjoy the chance to be here with you tonight, and I enjoy being out on Friday nights, but this is a cool opportunity. Looking forward to it.
You got to say it again, people are used to seeing you out at the field among the action, even sometime this season, and highlight being run over by the action, so you get as close as you can. But awesome to have you here, and you'll make up in the places that I lack. I don't like to admit that I lack it from time to time, but you're here to fill in my blanks.
Well, there should be some good stuff tonight. We see Warren Central and Ben Davis playing each other, the East Side versus West Side matchup. We'll have that game, and then one of the other games to watch, I think, is Fishers and Brownsburg, which would be, we'll see if Brownsburg can come back from that loss they suffered to Avon last week, and Fishers 4-0. So we'll dive in more into those games, but a couple things to watch as we get going.
Absolutely. You mentioned Avon. I've enjoyed watching them all season. Again, they kicked off their season with that big game in Lucas Oil Stadium, and people were like, are they for real? And they've shown us now, heading into week 5, that they are more than just for real. They are a serious, serious threat, and I've really enjoyed watching those kids get out there and do their thing. So on Friday Night Live, as you know, we bring you live look-ins at games from throughout the area, and we've got a big slate of games coming up tonight. So let's take a look at everything we're going to be able to bring you and shout out all of our wonderful network partners who are making it possible. So first up, we've got Westfield at Hamilton Hamilton Southeastern. That is courtesy of our friends at the IHSAA Champions Network. Then we'll have Zionsville at Noblesville. That's courtesy of Hamilton County TV. Great program that helps bring you that. Pendleton Heights at New Palestine. That kicks off at 7:30, courtesy of WHMB TV. We've got Decatur Central at Mooresville, courtesy of Indiana SRN. And Indiana SRN also bringing us Frontier at Traders Point. So again, thank you to Indiana SRN for helping us deliver not one but 2 games here on IndyStar Friday Night Live. Kicking things over with Fishers at Brownsburg. That is courtesy of the Fishers Sports Network. We will have Warren Central at Ben Davis, courtesy of the MIC Network. That being our MIC Network game of the week, meaning you can watch it in its entirety at IndyStar.com. So again, big shout out to the MIC Network. They've been a big partner and brought us not only some look-ins but some big games all season long. And last but not least on the slate of games is Franklin at Martinsville. That is courtesy of MHS Rewind, an awesome student-run program who their programs get better and better every week. So again, big list of games, a lot of action that's going to be coming your way. I know you've enjoyed the highlights, the halftime, the insight, and we're going to have this insight live on the show tonight. I cannot stress how awesome it is to have Kyle here to bring you that as it happens. And we don't just talk about live look-ins, we bring it to you. So we want to take our first peek at some live action tonight to show first-time viewers exactly how IndyStar Friday Night Live works. This is action. Warren at Ben Davis. As you can see, things are just getting rolling. Nothing, so no one started off with, a hot maybe kickoff return to start things off. But again, a big game. And Kyle, I didn't know as far as between these two teams, which you might be looking for or think might stand out as this matchup unfolds this Friday night.
Well, Justin, this has been a game. I think it's the 85th meeting between these teams. So long rivalry between them. East Side, West Side, like we mentioned, it's always been a good rivalry, a intense rivalry, but a lot of respect on both sides. Ben Davis only 1-3 this year. They're trying to get it going here, and what better team to do it against than Warren, their rival. So Warren's sitting there at number 2 in the state, and really has been probably better than what people thought. The defending champs lost a lot from last year. David Bell and Romir Elliott and all those guys on offense, but they're doing it with defense, and it's worked for them, and a strong running game, and this is going to be a good battle here. We'll see if Ben Davis can get off to a good start.
Right on, and we're getting settled in, but we got some action happening now. We got Westfield in the red zone in their matchup against HSC. Again, this game unfolding right now, and they are wasting no time, so we're going to take it away with the call and have you listen to all the action as it unfolds on Friday Night Live.
Patchett has some running room. He turns the corner, punches for the side of the end zone, and is in. Touchdown, Westfield. Their opening drive, an impressive one. A 6-yard touchdown run for Patchett, his 7th touchdown of the season.
How impressive was this drive, Rob? Here's another just power sweep. And I tell you, Southeastern is going to have to gang tackle and pick up the tackling.
All right, so that is the action again. This Westfield HSC game, this is courtesy of the IHSAA Champions Network action called by Rob Blackman and Jan Bosher. So thank you to them and so many others throughout the night. And before we get rolling, we're going to take a quick 60-second word from our sponsors, Bath Experts. All right, and thank you again to Bath Experts, our sponsor, who is helping make IndyStar Friday Night possible, and they've been supporting us all season long, and it's been a great ride so far. And like I mentioned, joining me so far for the first time on this ride as we enter Week 5, Kyle Nittenrip, IndyStar High School Insider. And now that I have you here, I'm wondering what you're looking for this week. Of course, I've been really excited about this Avon matchup and seeing how they're going to continue their season. But what's the one thing that you're really anxious to see unfold tonight?
Well, now that we're into Week 5 of the season, I kind of want to see, who's going to be consistent. I want to see Fishers tonight. This is their toughest game against Brownsburg they've had so far. They've been rolling defensively. They've been outstanding this year. I'm curious, they go on the road. It's homecoming at Brownsburg. Can they go on the road and get that win? I think that would be a little bit of an upset if they did, but their defense has been so good all year. So I'm curious to see if they can slow down Ben Easters and Donnie Marcus from Brownsburg. And on the other side, I'm curious if Brownsburg can come back from that loss to Avon. And their offense, I think, John Hart, I know, was disappointed last week. They could only score 3 points, and they couldn't spring Marcus in the run game like they'd hoped to. So that, to me, that's maybe the most interesting game of all tonight.
Absolutely. Well, we've got that insight, and we're going to bring you back to some more action. We're going to kick back over because Ben Davis and Warren Central happening right now, and Ben Davis is driving, threatening to score. So let's take it away with the call and see what happens next.
Incomplete, but here comes a flag.
Yeah, that's an easy call right there. Therese Reed is going to be called for the pass interference. Wasn't even looking towards Reese on that play.
And this was a ball that you wonder if Reed even had to come over the top on. It looked like Reese wasn't going to catch up to that one with how his angle was going, but Reed making plenty of contact there.
I mean, you could make a case that the ball was uncatchable anyway. It looked like, just based on that vantage point, that Gibson overthrew his intended target, but nevertheless, 2 costly pass interference calls, and this is very uncharacteristic of the Warriors.
You mentioned it, 2 defensive pass interference, bring up 2 first downs here for Ben Davis, and now ball going to be on the 12th.
I'm going to give you guys some rapid switches here. We've got, again, another scoring opportunity, possibly Westfield inside the 20. So we're going to jump back a little bit between this matchup as Westfield takes on HSC and jump back into the other game, Ben Davis game, as things progress. But got to take it away because looks like Westfield is trying to get on the board to kick things off early.
Team leader in that category. Now you're looking at 3rd and 6 for Westfield.
This is a big down, more so for Southeastern. If they can add a minimum, is hold to a field goal here to get out of this thing.
3 receivers now to the top of your screen with Peening as the wide receiver. Closest to the sideline and looking to that sideline is Simons, and we will have a timeout called. Westfield does not want to mess around with an important 3rd and 6 early in the game, so they take a timeout. 3rd and 6 with the ball on their own on the HSC 14.
All right, now as they stop and take a break to kind of think things over here, Kyle, this Westfield game, what should people keep in mind as they're watching this action unfold tonight?
Well, I was out actually this week at Westfield talking to Eli Patchett, who's their starting running back and also linebacker, and he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in May. He's added 35 pounds since they figured out why he wasn't putting on weight. He was eating 5,000 calories a day, and so they figured that out. And he's been excellent all season. He's a 3-sport athlete, plays both sides of the ball. And this Westfield team really offensively has been outstanding. Patchett and Camden Simons, their quarterback, is a senior starter. He's over 800 yards on the season coming into tonight. And, this is a really good team. They're averaging 44 points a game coming into this HSE game. This has probably been – HSE's probably the toughest opponent they've seen so far, but as you see, they're off to a great start.
Absolutely. Like you said, averaging that 44 points a game, having points on the board and looking to add more already shows how prolific this offense has been. And shouts out by the way, Patrick, what other two sports does he play? You mentioned he's a three-sport athlete.
Basketball and baseball.
All right, talented young man. All right, and as you can see, we're going to jump back over to this Ben Davis game, give you some more action here on IndyStar Friday Night Live. Again, this is courtesy and made possible by our partners, again, all of our network partners who have made this possible. This Ben Davis game is brought to us by the Nick Network. Action is called by Logan Hunt and Tyler Locke. This is our game of the week, and you can watch it in its entirety on IndyStar.com.
On the season, as Warren Central's a little late getting out here on the field. 15 on the clock, as they're going to have to hurry out here. The referees have got this one going, but just a costly turnover for the Giants, who were almost destined to score.
Well, Logan, it's once again rinse and repeat with these guys. I mean, Coach Simmons talked about it. You have to execute cleanly in the first quarter, get off to a fast start. Looked like that was going to be the case there for a second, and now Warren Central steals possession, and they're in great field position.
But we mentioned the problems Warren Central was having here, as they're going to take a timeout on the play. They were late getting out onto the field, not quite sure exactly what was going on. As they'd run out on the field, it looked like we were going to see a wildcat formation with Randy Wells taking a snap.
Interesting, too. It was, I mean, that's one way to get R.J. Wells involved. He's such a talented athlete that you can't really assign a specific position to him. I mean, just even talking to Coach Simmons this week, he's not just a running back. He's not just a safety. He's just a ball player.
All right, we're going to jump back over and get you a first look at Martinsville at Franklin. Right now, Martinsville marching at Franklin already on the board, so looking to tie things up. This action brought to you again by that awesome student-run program, MHS Rewind, and the action called by Eric Meyer. So let's take it away with the call and see if things can get tied up here.
So a rare third down on this drive. Artesians have kind of been able to get 4 or 5 yards on first down, then get the first down on second. So a rare third and short coming up for the Artesians. We'll see if they can convert. They're obviously in 4-down territory. Hands it off Tyler Cox. Tyler Cox around the right side. He gets the first down. Andy Myers comes out. Jalen Arthur in for him on this first down play. Also, Craig Wesner out as well, and it's number 23 with that reception. That's Josh Ham. Caught that for about a 2-yard pickup. Andy Myers back out there now. Josh Ham still out there as Craig Wesner is getting worked on by the trainer on the sideline. And little reverse play here, and it's LaFerry who has it. LaFerry gets a block from Tinnitus. LaFerry tries to make the man miss, can't, but does get the first down, and down at the goal line there. About a 12-yard pickup for LaFerry. Little reverse play tonight. It's under center real quick and gets the push and the touchdown on the quarterback sneak. So Artesian offense answers after Franklin comes out on the opening drive and scores. And Martinsville with a beautiful drive by the Artesians. So now we'll see. Artesians setting up for an extra point right now. I believe Jackson Fry, maybe 49 is the kicker. I'll have to clarify here. Kick is up and it's good.
All right, so big touchdown here in this matchup. Get things tied up, so we're going to jump over and give you another first look. This is Decatur Central at Mooresville taking on each other. Again, that's at number 1 Mooresville. That's brought to us by Indiana SRN. And Kyle, what are you keeping an eye on in this game tonight?
Well, Mooresville was one of the stories of the season last year. They were had been a downtrodden program. Mike Gillen comes in, the veteran coach, and they go 11-2 last year, made it to the semi-state in 4A. They lost a lot of guys, though, on the offensive side. John Eineman was an all-state receiver, so you wondered how they would come back this year. Well, again, they're number 1 in 4A, and they're clicking right along. And as you see here, they're on the drive. Really, this year for them, too, defensively, they've been really good. And they're bigger now. They've another year in the weight room. Mooresville's starting to build something here under Mike Gillen. And there you see Kalijah Perry, their quarterback. He's a dual-threat guy. And they have a receiver going to Ball State named Braden Evans. He was on our super team, preseason team. Really, really good athlete. So they're starting to get the skill position guys to go with those guys up front, and we can see what they're doing here. This is the only game they lost last year in this regular season was to this Decatur Central team. So,
all right, so this is an important matchup.
Exactly. A really good matchup in the Mid-State Conference here.
Awesome. So thanks to Indiana SRN for bringing us that. Jimmy Cook and Charles Benberry with the call, but we're going to hop back over because Ben Davis says they want some points. They're in the red zone against Warren Central. Let's take it away with the call and see if they can get in.
Down just shy of the 10-yard line. And that's going to bring up 4th and 6 for the Ben Davis Giants.
Well, Logan, they're keeping their offense out there, like you said.
Bit of a delay. Not sure what that's
Tyler
about.
reported about the RPOs to start the game, and that's all we've seen so far out of this Giants offense.
I think everyone who's watching
you might
this
as well
live
take
on
advantage of that. It's almost like an
MHS Rewind
evolution
YouTube channel.
of the zone read that Ben Davis has been
A lot
running
of
so far
Martinsville
this
fans
season.
here, but if you're not,
Here you go,
if you're
they slow
unable to
down.
join us, we
4th
do
and 6,
appreciate
5 minutes
you.
to go in the first quarter.
Follow
Gibson
along on the
throws one up, tipped at the line, incomplete.
channel.
Andrew Nelson comes up with the big tip.
All right, going to jump back over as Mooresville is also in the red zone. So we'll be jumping back between these two games so you don't miss how things play out on these possessions. Let's take it away with the call.
Braden's there. He throws it to him, and it's caught right at the first down marker, so he won't get the end zone, but he will set up 1st and goal at about the 5-yard line.
I think Perry listened he's probably listening to the broadcast now. He recognized the pressure coming. That time scrambled out to his right side, the pressure coming to the left. Found a wide open receiver. That play's been ran 2-3 times already so far in this game. He's got a big target out there and made a nice catch. Tried to stretch to the end zone, couldn't quite make it. We'll see if he can punch it in here.
And each time they've run that play, it feels like Perry's gaining a little bit more confidence. 1st and goal from the 3. They give it off. The ball is on the deck, and it's going to be scooped up by Perry. Looked like they were trying to hand it off to Green to get around the outside, but the snap was bobbled, and Pioneer faithful breathe a sigh of relief.
Sigh of relief because most players, when it's a fumble, they want to pick the ball up and run. I think coaches teach your players, don't do that. Just
it looked like Green was going to do that there, and then he went ahead and blocked and let Perry scoop it up from behind.
And smart play there because, you trying to pick up the ball and you miss it, that allows Decatur Central to jump on that ball. The quicker you jump on it and just take the loss, you have another play, live to see another day.
So it'll bump it back to the 7, so 2nd and goal, ball from the 7-yard line. 2 wide receivers to either side. In the backfield is Green. Perry takes the snap. He'll give it to Green. Green breaks one tackle. He's got space, trying to spin to the goal line, and he does. Touchdown, Pioneers. Breaking Green, his 8th touchdown on the ground this season. It's 6-0 Mooresville here on homecoming night.
And a great play design there. That's the first time we saw the delayed handoff here from Mooresville. The pressure's coming from each side.
All right, so big touchdown there. Mooresville starting things off, getting on the board with that touchdown run. They'll see if they can add on with the extra point. And again, you mentioned despite the losses on that offense that they suffered, they are still clicking right along. Like you mentioned, number 1, 4-0, and looking to get back. You mentioned that loss to Decatur Central right here tonight.
Yeah, this would be the chance for them to avenge that loss they had last year. Really, last year they were hurt by Decatur Central's speed and athleticism. Decatur lost a lot too. They were a 5A state runner-up last year and lost the state championship to New Pal. No shame in that. They played
Not
a
at
tough
all.
game against New Pal. But so this Decatur team really had a lot to replace. Defensively, though, they're still very fast. And Jordan Miles, who's going to the Air Force Academy, one of the state leaders in sacks this year already. So Decatur's they've got the pieces. This is going to be a good game, I think. It's going to be close all the way throughout. And Mooresville, as you see, gets off to a good start early.
Absolutely. And again, it took a lot of time in this first to get the first point. So despite, again, how powerful that offense is and how great that team is, Decatur not making it easy.
Right.
So like you said, it's going to be a good game, a big game. So we're going to jump back over to some more action. Martinsville, Franklin, looks like Franklin is in the red zone, threatening to score. So we're going to jump back over here in a second and bring you that action on IndyStar Friday Night Live, presented by Bath Experts. Again, this is all tied up 7-7. Unfortunately, it looks like we got a player down on the field, so we'll take it away with the call to get some info and see what's going on.
He's made his presence known throughout this season.
On his back near the 10-yard line, so
We're going to go under center, second and 11.
Serious, and he can be back
3
in
minutes
this
to play
game
in the first quarter.
because the Artesians
Hand off
desperately
Wells,
need
cuts it
Will
back
Nix.
to the middle, has a huge hole. Runs through one tackler, still on his feet, and finally brought down at the 32-yard line. First down, Warren Central.
Excellent run right there by Wells. It's almost like the seas
take
parted open for him on that carry, and if it wasn't for Capone Powell or Dobson in that play, I mean, Wells could have taken it all the way.
Again, first down, Warren Central, ball in the 32. Moore getting the play call from the sideline. Warriors playing a little bit slower in this matchup against the Giants than we've
Here in the
typically seen
backfield,
in
not
recent
much noise,
weeks.
pretty quiet here at Ciderwoods Field.
As Moore
With Will Nix
again under center.
on the ground.
Man in motion. Top side of your screen. It'll be again a handoff to Wells, left side, finds a hole, and squeezes his way forward for a gain of 5 on the
See
play.
the student section there. And
Good job again by
So
Wells.
the
I mean, it
Martinsville
looked like the
fans of Will
defensive
Nix gets
line
up
had
on
him
his feet,
bottled up in the
but-
backfield for a minute.
All right, want to jump out now, and thank you guys for joining us so far on Week 5 of IndyStar Friday Night Live, presented by Bath Experts. And another shout out to our sponsor. Let's take a quick 60-second word from them. All right, thank you to Bath Experts. Back into this Martinsville-Franklin matchup, and good news, that young man who was down on the field looks like he got up and walked off under his own power, so that is awesome to see and hear.
Yeah, that was Will Nix, the junior linebacker from Martinsville who was injured there. He's their leading tackler on the season, 49 tackles, so that'd be a big loss. Glad to see he was able to get off the field and hopefully can come back in this game. They're going to need him here. Franklin's got a great offense.
Absolutely. So let's take it away with the call and see if someone can get an advantage here in this tied-up matchup.
In right at the 9-yard line. And
Ward has it. He goes back
brought
up the
down
middle,
for
and he
gain
has
of a
stopped. Nowhere to go.
Well, Logan, that's a rare occurrence that Eli
Saw
Price
Malachi
has probably
Pringle
picked
in
up a
there on
short
that
yard
tackle.
carry, 'cause coming into this game, he has 4 catches. 3 of them have been for touchdowns. Averages over 40 yards on each reception.
So it's fourth down now. Franklin can get a first down. They don't have to get it in the end zone. Drew Byerly under center, and he just pushes.
Third and
we'll
4.
see where they
Moore
mark it. It
under
looks like it's
center.
going to be good enough for at
Hand
least
off
a
Wells.
first down.
The Giants are all over it, making their own stand, pushing
We'll have
Wells
to see,
back
but the
2
push
yards.
that Drew Byerly got, it looked
That will
like it was
bring up
enough to
4th and 6
at least
in
move the
decision time for the
chains,
Warren
and
Central
it
Warriors.
is. So that'll make it first and goal
Not
from
sure
about the
what
1 yard line.
justification was for that call. I mean, I personally would have thrown it in that case and see if you could set up a receiver on that play, but looks like Warren Central is content for
Surprised they
just
don't do
7
that
for 3
again. They
on
give
this
it.
drive.
Byerly keeps
Joe
it on the
Jackson,
outside,
the
gets a
junior kicker,
stiff
coming
arm,
out on the field.
and he leaps and
1 of 1
gets
on the year
hit, but
with a
crosses the
22-yard
goal line
field
for
goal.
the 1 yard touchdown.
one-
But he.
And touchdown there, and I got to say, that is some impressive work by the QB, putting that hand out there and letting him respect that stiff arm. So Franklin enjoying an advantage here in this matchup against Martinsville. Man, I like it to see the QB roll out and get a little
Yeah,
dirty.
that's Drew Byerly. What an athlete. I mean, he looked like he was dead to rights out there and gave him the stiff arm, and he's in the end zone. Great play by Drew Byerly.
Very, very nice. So again, this game getting right back into the action after that little stoppage in the action after the player injury, and they're going to roll back and see if they can answer back. So again, we've got 3 scores in this first quarter. Franklin Martinsville is saying this is going to be the game to watch tonight. Don't turn away, but we're going to, because we've got some highlights and more action coming up next here on IndyStar Friday Night Live, presented by Bath Experts. All right, and welcome back here to the IndyStar studio. I'm joined by Cowden and Rip. I'm your host, Justin Mack, and this is week 5 of IndyStar Friday Night Live presented by Bath Experts. Wanted to take a quick break to shout out a lot of the people behind the camera who helped make this possible. So credits, wanted to give those a little quick roll, and thank to, again, not only the people who are making it possible, but the network partners who are making this possible. This is a first-time thing for us. We're halfway through the season, and I'll be honest, when they first told me what we were going to do, I'm like, that's ambitious, and then I said, we're probably going to crush this. But it's only possible because of a lot of help by other people. And again, those network partners, the people behind the scenes, individuals like you who spend time out in the field making that happen. There's a lot of young men who are working as kind of our sports clerks and learning, who are collecting the highlights that we get to show every week. So I got to say, it's been really, really fun watching everyone kind of come together like a team of our own and put this game on the field every single week.
You know what? I think I'm going to write about this, actually, for my 5 things we learned from the weekend. This is going to be one of my 5 things is going to be what I learned being in the studio doing this. This is a lot of fun. We just got started, but having a blast kind of watching as we're going here on a Friday night and seeing a lot of good action already. That Martinsville-Franklin game is going to be one to watch, I think. A lot of points on the board already.
Absolutely. And again, if you are watching this, I always like to remind people, because I'm addicted to social media, that if you are watching, viewing at one of the games, share everything you are doing, saying, or thinking, even if it's maybe a little bit inappropriate, using the hashtag IndyStarFNL. That's IndyStarFNL. Let's get trending. We've been trending all season. Why should we stop now? And speaking of why stopping, we're going to roll with one of my other favorite parts of this show is bringing you highlights. Again, that is young men out there who are working for us, recording it and sending it on in because we're high tech. So we're going to queue up a couple of highlights we got ready as things get rolling. This first one being that Eli Patchett touchdown run that made things 7-0 in this matchup that Westfield's in right now.
Yeah, Eli Patchett there taking it in on the pitch to the right, and we talked about him earlier. He was 170 back in May. He's 205 pounds now, and he's a big kid, and he's having a great season so far. And glad to see he's kind of figured out what the issue was with his diabetes. He's been able to figure things out this year.
And that's a heck of a weight gain. I put on weight like that too, but it's usually after eating Popeye's chicken sandwiches.
That's what I told him.
Next up, we're going to show you some little action on the defensive side of the ball. This is a Willie Eaton interception and a nice return in that Warren game. So like to show that defense is also out here helping to try and win some championships.
Well, and we talked about, Ben Davis needed to get off to a good start in that game, and they've had their chances here early in the game, and they haven't been able to do it. Warren's defense, though, very good. Maybe the best in the state. If you ask them, I'm sure they'll agree with that. But they are very opportunistic and very solid defensively, and that's what's made them been able to come back from that losing so many guys on offense from last year and be, again, right at the top of 6A.
Absolutely. So some highlights are done, so we're going to jump back into some action here on IndyStar Friday Night Live, presented by Bath Experts. We're going to jump into that Frontier Traders Point game. As you can see right now is the score 6-13 in favor of Traders Point, enjoying that advantage as the first quarter comes to a close, but we are still rolling. This, again, one of 2 games that our friends over at Indiana SRN are helping us bring you this evening. So big thank you to them. They've been an awesome partner all season long. And this is our first look at this game tonight. So, Kyle, any insight you want to provide for folks as they watch these 2 teams square off?
Yeah, this may not seem like a huge game, but they're both these teams are 4-0. And these teams also will play in the same sectional, Class 1A sectional 42. First time they've played each other. Traders Point last year, the first time they were eligible for sectional play. So program just kind of getting started, but had a really good season last year. Adam Stevenson in his 3rd year as coach. They're averaging 48 points a game, and again, off to a good start offensively against Frontier. Frontier, interesting, they have not had a winning season since 2006.
Awesome.
So they're off to a great start too. So really interesting game here. Because they are sectional rivals, see how this one turns out.
Right on. So thanks again to Indiana SRN. We're going to go to the call brought to us by Jonathan Mathis and Keith Myers.
Actually, he has rushed for 100 in every game. So he's close to doing it another time.
What is he at, 91 right now?
91. Not too bad. Here's David Hart with plenty of time, with plenty of room. Looks for the end zone. And is it a touchdown? It is!
Wow, both feet got down. Only need one. Nice play.
Gabe Sink in the back of the end zone. 4th touchdown for him on the year. Traders Point leads 19-6. Now, Frontier, it's your turn.
2 minutes to play yet. Here we go. had plenty of time. Look how you put the feet in. Nice job.
Ballerino would be proud. And here he is with that right foot. They got him a touchdown. It gets the extra point. 20-6 is the score on Indiana SRN. We are always in the game.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue.
All right, as they'll take a break, we're going to jump back into this Ben Davis Warren Central game, but I wanted to give an update that this game now has some points on the board. Sounds like not too long ago, a big touchdown pass for Ben Davis. We're going to try and bring you a highlight of that action here on Friday Night Live just in a bit. But again, this game, which I know is a big one for a lot of people, is our MIG Network game of the week. You'll be able to see it in its entirety on IndyStar.com. So we'll take it away with the call and see what happens next.
Go to thebrandvision.com.
Another score update for you. Lawrence Central leading 8-0 over the Pike Red Devils.
TV update on all the scores going on around the MIC as Wells plowing through a couple Giants, works his way up near the 13-yard line. Strong run there for the Warren Central Warriors.
Good job by RJ right there, picking up 6 yards. Not keeping the chains moving, but setting up the Warren Central offense in a second and very reasonable position.
Again, Moore going to go under center. A couple guys packed in there on the line for strong ball here from the Warren Central Warriors as Wells again plunges forward to close to the 16-yard line. And that's going to bring up third down and about a yard to go.
All right, we're going to jump back over to this matchup between Westfield and HSC. HSC down 10-0, but they're looking to change that really quickly as they are inside the red zone and moving up the field.
8 now for Hamilton Southeastern.
First time tonight we've seen the Tigers goal line offense.
Opening night against Lawrence Central and haven't
won
won
on
since.
his own on the right side. Dylan Scally behind Rue. They've got jumbo formation. And whistle blown.
That ball is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, and here comes the penalty flag. I think we're going to have pass interference against that Westfield secondary.
And now Rue lining up, going
that
to his right,
really
jumbo
nice
formation.
Wasn't
Rue gives it to Dylan Scally. Scally on the outside again, touchdown Tigers.
Myers couldn't catch it, but doesn't matter because it looks like we're going to have defensive pass interference anyway.
Miles, really on that drive, we saw Dylan Scally go to the outside multiple times for big runs. What do you think the Bulldogs are going to need to do to stop that later in the game?
Brownsburg defensive coordinator is going to have to come up with something because what they...
All right, we're going to jump back in and see what other action is happening here on Friday night on Friday Night Live. Again, we've got a lot of games we still haven't gone to yet. That's how hard it is to keep up with some of the action on the show. So again, Westfield HSC still 10-0 in favor of Westfield. Let's see if HSC can take advantage of this awesome field position and the fact that it's 2nd and 2. And just overthrew them. Kyle, as these two teams are squaring off, anything about HSC that we can let viewers know about their program and how they've been handling what they've been facing all season long?
Yeah, this is a program that has had a lot of success in the past, but back-to-back 3-7 seasons. And this season under Adam Morris, it's his second year as coach. They're 1-3. But they've also played a really tough schedule so far. They beat Lawrence Central in the opener and then lost to North Central, Avon, and Fishers. All three of those teams very good. Andrew Hobson is their senior quarterback this year, and I think they're going to start getting it going. This is another tough game for them, but their schedule lightens up a little bit in the second half of the year. I think they're going to be tough by the time sectionals comes around. And as you see there, can't quite get it in the end zone, but they're knocking on the door here. If they can get a touchdown here, they're right in this game with Westfield.
Absolutely. And again, they got great field position to set things off in a whole lot of time. Again, only very early in the second. Still really anyone's game, especially if they're able to get into the end zone here. That advantage that Westfield has feels like a way smaller hole to dig yourself out of if you're HSC.
You see there, they're going to the Wildcat and trying to get this 4th down, but looks like it could be an offsides. Yeah, it is. So it's going to be 1st and goal now for HSC as they try to close in on this game here against Westfield.
Absolutely. So let's take it away with the call so you don't miss a thing here on Friday Night Live.
I've seen as well, but the first call obviously was lining off side in the neutral zone against Westfield. They're trying to get all the advantage they can get. Here we go.
They stay with their heavy lineup. Look at this. They have not only offensive linemen on the O-line, but they have 2 offensive linemen in the backfield.
You can't put any more offensive linemen. There's not. It's like.
Here goes Stein.
There you go.
Touchdown, Royals. Chris Stein, who is a linebacker by trade, is the running back in the heavy formation, and he just scored a touchdown.
This looks like an old rugby play. We're all 10 players except for the ball carrier. Get in the middle, say, everybody push, and they do, and that's a
touchdown HSC. And let's see if we can get you another one here on Friday Night Live. Ben Davis is close again. They're inside the 10, it looks like. Warren Central celebrating because they got themselves a stop. So let's take it away with the call and see what happens next.
Position to bring that down. Gibson doing a good job putting him in a good spot, but Carnell just getting punished right there.
Layout Warren right there laying the hit on the safety for Warren Central. And that's going to bring out the kicking unit, Zach Fox. 2 for 2 on the year, a long of 33. Kicking will be a 28-yard field goal. This shot is up, and that one will be no good, missing it the exact same way from the exact same spot as Joe Jackson did earlier for Warren Central.
My goodness, Logan, at this point, it's not who wants to win this ball game.
All right, so field goal is not going to be good there, but let's give you a first look at a game we haven't jumped into yet. This is number 6 Fishers taking on number 9 Brownsburg. This is courtesy of Fishers Sports Network. And again, another matchup that I've been interested in. Fishers 4-0 right now, taking on the 2-2 Brownsburg Bulldogs. And Kyle, what can you tell us about these teams?
These teams are both very good defensively. Brownsburg last week, I thought again in that Avon game, it was mid-third quarter, they're up 3-0. And it felt like they had the momentum, couldn't quite close the door. And Avon had one good drive the whole game, and that was it. And so this Brownsburg team, athletically, probably their best team they've had maybe ever at Brownsburg. But sitting here at 2-2, they need a win this week, and Fishers does too. They want to prove that they're a top 10 team, a top 5 team maybe. A chance to go do that on the road at Brownsburg. Both these teams are very good defensively. I'm even surprised it's already 7-7 based off how they've played so well defensively this year.
Absolutely, and right now, obviously, a little flag on the field trying to figure out what the deal is there. So actually, we're going to take it away with the call, again, courtesy of our friends who are making this happen, Fisher Sports Network, so we can get some clarity on this flag and see if anybody can stand out and break this stalemate, this 7-7 tie between these two teams.
Holding on Brownsburg. 10-yard penalty, first down, so that'll make it first down and 20. First and 10. First and 10, ball at their own 47.
Brownsburg yet to pass this possession.
Easters hands off to Marcus, and the Tigers are right there. Oh, he broke away, but they say he's down. Jeffrey Brown and Colin Sheldon there to wrap him up.
Is there a way we can get a replay on that?
Yeah, we want a replay on that one.
Brownsburg crowd unhappy with that call.
Easters, screen pass to Terrell. Preston Terrell on the move with some jukes. And now a big pile of players get in there to bring him down, as this might take us to the end of the first quarter. It'll be third down.
Looks like Brownsburg is going to try and fit in one more play before the break.
They're down at 6 at the 49. Time running out. Easter's trying to get everybody lined up. They're down at 6. Empty back set. 3 to Easter's right, 2 to his left.
Easter's is going to let it go.
Yeah, they're going to take this to the end of the quarter. Here's we are all tied up at 7 at the end of the first quarter. As we'll be right back as you're watching this.
All right, so the quarter runs down there, so let's jump over and give you a first look at a matchup we're happy to bring you courtesy of WHMB TV 40. This is Pendleton taking on New Pal, and there's been a lot said by New Pal and this crazy win streak they're on. Kyle, as they're taking on Pendleton here in a matchup that a lot of people are focused on, what can you tell us about these two teams in this matchup?
Well, I can say Pendleton Heights gave New Pal their toughest game in the regular season last year, and it was a 21-point win. So that tells you how dominant New Pal is. There you see Charlie Spiegel, number 32, the all-time leading rusher in state history for New Pal there, 8,500 yards for his career. But really, I think with this New Pal team, you look defensively too. They are so good defensively. Maxon Hook, who's going to Toledo, and Kyle King is a Michigan State recruit at defensive end, one of the best pass rushers in the state. So, New Pal is what they are. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They run the ball. They play great defense, and it would be a huge upset here if Pendleton Heights can get them. But I know Jed Richmond's team has some confidence, come in at 3-1, and have been playing pretty well defensively. So we'll see. I mean, it would be a big upset if Pendleton Heights could do this tonight.
Absolutely. So we're going to stick with this action for a bit and take it away with the call, courtesy of Howard Kelman and Todd Milo and WHMB TV 40.
They have fumbled 7 times this year. That makes the 8th fumble this season already. Take a look at the replay, Coach.
Yeah, they got great push. Watch the O-line push it. That's kind of hard to see from this angle. But he gets poked out. 33 with the tackle from behind, punches the ball. 34 with the recovery. That's a great play for Pendleton.
Caden McLean causes the fumble. That's his 3rd caused fumble of the year, and Jack Elijah picks it up, his first recovery. First and 10, Pendleton.
I think he practices that just a little bit, don't you think?
Yes, sir.
Big run, big first down play.
All right, hate to interrupt the action, especially with news like this, but just some breaking news out of the Center Grove North Central game. That game has been delayed to 8 p.m. because of a medical emergency in the North Central stands that they're dealing with right now. So again, Center Grove North Central, that game delayed to 8 p.m. because of a medical emergency being handled in the North Central stands. We'll give you updates if we can here on Friday Night Live. So we will be back with the call here in this game and updates on this game and others throughout the night.
Kirby Hess in shotgun. Plenty of time over the middle. Almost intercepted, broken up by Riker Large, the one who almost intercepted down there earlier tonight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. That's the first time they have been with a tight end, and they end up putting the ball in the air.
Indiana Members Credit Union is proud to present our replays. Indiana Members Credit Union, your local full-service financial institution and a proud sponsor of WHMB TV 40 Sports.
Same set here. 23 is the offset of the H. It's a quarterback lead.
3rd and 5,
down.
and he's going to pick up the first down.
That's not just one ISO back, that's 2.
It's brought down by Avon Jones and Brody Luker as well from his free safety spot. Let's take a look at the Indiana Members Credit Union replay.
You can see the H, 23 is going to lead through, and then 20 is going to follow him. Quarterback with the ball after that. And, okay, that's the wrong play. I'm talking about the pass.
Yeah, that's
I'm talking about the running play, the last play, not the pass.
Incomplete pass there, but it's 1st and 10 for Pendleton.
Got tight end back on the field, and he's in
Good
the route.
protection for Hess yet again. Goes to the right sideline, and it is a catch. It's gained him about 7 yards. That was completed by Tommy Long. Good catch over there on the right, on the left sideline, Coach.
Yeah, that was a tough ball. He threw that in a small window. I know, it was outside, 24's outside arm, so he could be the only one to get it. He was staring at it for a while too, though, Todd. That's he's gonna have to look people off.
It's a gain of 6. 2nd down and 4. It's Tommy Long's 6th reception of the season for more than 20 yards.
That was a great catch. Okay, this time it's ISO. Yeah, that time was straight ISO to the running back, not the Q, but the quarterback followed up into the outside. I wonder if they'll lead off of that later.
Check out Andy Moore Avon Nissan on US 36, just 5 minutes from Avon High School, the #1 Nissan dealership in the greater Indianapolis area. They have easy, no-hassle pricing on new Nissans and quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Ask for Tim or Pat to get the best deal. They'll take great care of you at Andy Moore Avon Nissan.
Thought that last game was only 2 for a 3rd and 1 situation here. They're surely going to go for it. If they don't, I'm not sure they're going to matter. I think he got it. He got it. Look at the great spot on the far sideline.
It's going to be a 1st down for Pendleton.
All right, we're going to jump over because Westfield and this Hamilton Southeastern game progressing. Westfield is marching, so let's take it away with the call and see what happens next.
The bear may have been woken up. Here he goes. Little counter back to the backside. Still, they're really doing a great job. I like the play calling now. They've really mixed it up, spreading the field, kind of forcing those linebackers to just guess. All you need is just a half second for a linebacker to maybe lean, guess, or whatever, and get a couple extra yards out of him.
Big play on this drive was the catch by Rhodes just a moment ago. See if HSE can cash it in here. They go back to Wirtz, bring him back in as their tailback, and the sophomore will take the ball down to the 9-yard line. That'll be a first down gain.
Nothing fancy here. This just power against defense. Coming at you, defense. Great surge up front. The big guy for HSC is Floon, big James Floon, the senior. Great block.
First and goal from the 9 now for the Royals. Look like a completely different offense here in the second quarter.
To tell you.
Hobson to Wirtz. Finds himself maybe a gain of 1, if that. Maybe just lucky to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Westfield's Allen White, number 99, the 305-pound senior, makes the tackle.
All right, we're going to jump back in to that New Pal Pendleton Heights matchup just in a bit, because we've got, again, 2 teams now threatening to score here on Friday Night Live. So we'll be jumping between this game and that game so you guys don't miss a moment. And one of these scores, again, big opportunities for both teams as we are tracking these multiple games on IndyStar Friday Night Live.
Looks like HSC's kind of found something in the running game here, Justin, and they're able to, just kind of pound it ahead in the middle of that Westfield defense. And it's been kind of a good situation for HSC. And now we switch them back to Pendleton Heights, and pretty rare that New Pal ever trails, and they're not trailing yet, but Pendleton Heights is on the move here, and they have a really good running back named Camden Early. Talk about 3-sport athletes. He's another one of those guys who's a 3-sport guy, and they're getting something going here. Pretty late now in the first quarter, so this is a rarity. New Pal turns it over and gives them a little bit of a short field here. Pendleton Heights trying to take advantage.
Yeah, that'll be, and like you said, seeing New Pal down or even with their back slightly against the wall is, again, surprising considering how dominant they've been. But like you mentioned, Pendleton Heights, they're setting the tone here early and taking up a lot of time in the first quarter. So, again, we'll keep an eye on that game and this HSC Westfield game as well, because we don't want to miss the opportunity, because HSC, after being down 10-0 for a lot of the first, are looking to take a lead here.
Same play. It's a Wildcat play. And there's a flag, though.
Got a flag, but I do going back to that Wildcat snap to the QB. They liked it last time. They say, why wouldn't we like it this time?
Yeah,
so
they found something there, and it's working for them. Kind of an odd format. Yeah, it's a false start, so they'll be taking it back here. See if they run it again.
All right, jumping back over to this Pendleton Heights New Pal game. Let's see if Pendleton Heights can take advantage of this field position. Rolling out, and that's going to be an incompletion.
Yeah, Pendleton Heights trying to get something. They might maybe get a field goal out of that. This will be now HSC is going to try a field goal. Now they get pushed back to the 7-yard line. So trying to tie it up here.
And again, in both situations, get a chance to tie a game. And again, take an early lead in a game against a tough opponent, no tougher opponent than New Pal. So nothing wrong with sending out the special teams. It's all about getting points on the board to take a lead or tie a game.
Absolutely. That's no good, actually, wide right. So Westfield holds on to that lead. Now Pendleton Heights trying a field goal. So back-to-back field goal attempts, and let's see, that one is good.
So that is, again, Pendleton Heights 3-0, not a big lead, but a lead against New Palestine, all the same. That's a nice way to start things off.
Yeah, don't adjust your sets. New Pal is actually losing 3-0. So
right.
We may not ever see that again this regular season.
Savor it. We're going to jump back over to the Ben Davis game now, get you some more action here on Friday Night Live. This one's still knotted up, 0-0. Warren Central, Ben Davis. We're going to get that rolling for you. But again, want to take a moment to thank everyone who's been tuning in to us all season long, and all of our network partners who are making all of these matchups on screen possible. And that wouldn't be possible without other individuals like ourselves wanting to do what we're here to do, which is celebrate our student athletes, show you the action, maybe make it a little easier to track all of these games, because we know how passionate so many people are about high school football here in the state. So we know that being able to actually go to all these games, a little tough on the gas tank. So we'll just bring them to you here on IndyStar Friday Night Live. So let's take it away with the call in this matchup between Warren Central and Ben Davis.
They're on Warren Central, so that will be tacked on into the end of the run. That's why one of the defenders went over. As you see the Warren Central Warriors down south and pleading their case, saying the guy jumped, we didn't hit him low.
Well, if this is a 15-yarder, Ben Davis is only going to have to drive 35 yards to get their first points of the ball game. I mean,
Dragons will take over.
You can't drop any better than this, Logan.
And only 3 minutes left to go in this first half. All 3 timeouts still for the Ben Davis Giants.
So here we go, Logan. You are in prime position to get some sort of points on the board. You're in a tight ball game against your crosstown foe. Can you execute here, get in the end zone, take that, or get that first opening punch against your rival? Or are they just going to fall flat like they have throughout most of the season?
Gibson with Hassel to his right, Cushamberry to his left in the backfield.
Far side's going to give him the first down.
All right, we're going to jump in and give you some quick score updates because we've got a bunch of powerful teams who are facing some adversity so far tonight. What's going on, Kyle?
Yeah, 3 number 1 teams right now are behind. You saw that Pendleton Heights field goal made it 3-0. So New Pal, they're the 5A number 1 team. They're down, but they're not the only one. Lutheran, the Class 1A number 1, they're down 21-14 to Cascade. That would be a big upset. And then Roncalli, and kind of some insight into that game. Roncalli, Cecina. Cecina is number 1 in 2A. They're down 13-0 to Roncalli. That game being played at Manual. Cecina has not beat Roncalli in their last 23 tries.
And as we give you some score updates, we get our first score here in this big matchup against Warren Central and Ben Davis on a big touchdown run for Ben Davis. That was impressive, and he beat a lot of people. Let's see the replay. This young man is fast. I'm tired just looking at him. Let's take it away with the call so we can get some more info on that touchdown and that drive.
To bring down in the open field.
Able to make the play there for the Ben Davis Giants as finally we get some points on the board. The west side speaking up first as Fox puts this one in and true. So 7-0 Ben Davis Giants on top of the Warren Central Warriors late in this first half.
Well, here we go, Logan. Ben Davis in a prime position at the end of the first half. They have the lead. They have the momentum. Can they put Warren Central on the ropes here, get another quick stop? Like you said, they have all 3 of their timeouts, so you got to consider the clock is in.
All right, so again, had a chance to check out that big touchdown in that Ben Davis game, which was absolutely awesome. So we're actually going to jump in to some more highlights here on Friday Night Live, including a highlight from that Ben Davis game. So let's kick things off with another slate of highlights. This right here is a pass Gibson to Dalen Carnell, and just a beautiful catch. That is athleticism. I could never do that.
Dalen Carnell's one of the he's a big-time recruit prospect. He's got offers from several Big Ten schools, and he's a guy to keep an eye on. They use him defensively and on offense, and he's going to be a good one for Ben Davis. And as we see that Ben Davis team up 7-0 on Warren, that would be a big upset.
I got to cut in and ask, too. You said Big Ten schools are interested. I'm a Purdue guy. Please tell me Purdue is considering grabbing that young man and adding it to that team.
No doubt. He's getting recruited by Purdue. And I think the Purdue staff, by the way, in the last few years has done a great job of making Indianapolis a priority again. It wasn't really happening before. Now they're starting to get into these schools. The previous regime, there's a lot. They just didn't have much of a presence. Now they do under Jeff Brom, and I think you're seeing the results of that. That Purdue name means something again.
All right, I won't say anything other than boiler up. I know I shouldn't do that, but whatever. All right, more highlights Riley on Friday Night Live. This right here, Easter's a short touchdown pass to Donovan Marcus. That'll make it 7-0 in that Brownsburg game. So again, been tracking that, some great highlights there. And then finishing things up is a highlight out of that Bishop Chatard game. This is Thomas Coleman with a touchdown catch. That's going to make this a 14-0 game, at least at the time of that catch. Again, that Bishop Chatard matchup. So some great highlights and some great action here on Friday Night Live so far. And we're actually going to jump right back into some action. This is going to be Decatur Central and Mooresville. Decatur Central inside the 30. Mooresville enjoying a 14-7 advantage. But Decatur Central saying we're going to change that as soon as we can. So let's take it away with the call and the action courtesy of Indiana SRN.
We just had that play. You got to give it to us too. And if you're Horsley, you've recognized the pressure. You got to get that ball out of your hands way quicker than that. You can't take a sack, especially this deep. So now you're backed up. You started at the 30-yard line. Now that ball is pushed all the way back to the 35-yard line and a fourth down. So now a fourth down going forward is definitely out of the question here. And a disappointing drive for Decatur Central and Coach Enright.
It's a 4th and 15, but I'll tell you this much. As long as you get a completion out of it, scratch that. Even if it's a completion, Charles, you could throw a pick here. It's about the same as his pooch punt anyway.
It could be. I'm not sure if, it looks like they are possibly going for it here with Tracy in the backfield. We'll see if he motions him out.
And it has been a similar look to their pooch punt formation already tonight. Let's see. He'll roll. Horsley actually is going to try to go for it. He'll pump fake once, and now he'll try to run with it himself. Gets around one tackler, and it'll be a turnover on downs, but it'll be about the same setup that you would have had if you tried to punt it deep. So it'll be about the punt it deep for a touchback, I should say. They'll put the ball at the 25-yard line.
And that was the play that they were going to run if it wasn't intentional grounding.
Right.
You know, you scroll to the left, pump fake to the right, and that opened up a gap. And Horsley had some room. And, again, on a third down play, that would be a nice, play to run. This would have been a 4th and 4, 4th and 3 setup. But that intentional grounding hurt, and the pressure by Mooresville defense. They've had their spurts on defense where they need to get off the –
All right, going to jump back over to this Martinsville-Franklin game. Score, big advantage here, 26-13, that Franklin is enjoying. Martinsville thought they had a score, but it sounded like a big touchdown opportunity called back because of offensive pass interference, which I know they hate to see considering what the scoreboard looks like right now. So we're going to take it away with the call and see if they can get another shot at that touchdown they thought they had.
But you got first and should be, I believe, 25 coming up after the 15-yard pass interference penalty on Andy Myers. And with 8:25 left, you might have circled that because that took away a touchdown. Xavier tonight has passed it. It was underthrown. Andy Myers kind of had to stop and get his defender off of him and maybe gave his defender a little more of a push than he should have, and official called it. So we've got 1st and 26. It's a down and distance. Little speed option play. Tyler Cox trying to get to the outside. Cuts back in, lowers his shoulder. Still going. Gets about 4 or 5 yards on that carry. Clock will run here. 2nd down. Artesians had a touchdown taken away earlier on the pass interference, so let's see if they can bounce back. Quick pass, little screen on the opposite side. That was Andy Myers who did catch that. Falls forward. Bring up 3rd down.
All right, we're going to jump over and give you a first look of this Zionsville-Noblesville matchup. Right now, the Eagles in the red zone threatening to score against the Millers, and this is brought to us by our friends at Hamilton County TV with action called by Jerry Baker and Perry Williams. And again, this is our first jump into this game. Again, Zionsville threatening to score. They're 2-2 against the 0-4 Noblesville Millers. And Kyle, what about these two teams should people keep in mind as they're watching the action tonight?
Well, Zionsville has been a team that they beat Pike and Lebanon, lost to Westfield and Franklin Central. As a game they lost 17-14 last week to Franklin Central. Felt like they should have won that game. They have a running back right there. You see him, Colin Price. He's a sophomore. I saw him last year against New Pal as a freshman. He was tough as a freshman. It's hard to believe he was a freshman. So they lean on him quite a bit and have a first-year coach, Scott Turnquist, who was a defensive coordinator at Carmel previously. So, they are a team that's kind of up and coming. Noblesville lost a lot from last year. They have struggled offensively all year long, averaging almost just barely over 100 yards a game. So Noblesville needs to keep this a low-scoring game, and so far they've been able to do it and force a field goal attempt here by Zionsville.
All right, well, let's take it away with the call and see if Zionsville can be the first team to get on the board.
Here's the snap. Hold is good. Kick is got plenty of distance, and it is good. 31-yard field goal.
So the Zionsville Eagles draws first blood here in the.
All right, so points delivered here on Friday Night Live, so let's jump back over as Brownsburg is in the red zone against Fishers. They are already enjoying a 14-7 lead in this matchup, so we'll see if they can add on to this lead so far. So let's take it away with the call and see what happens next.
Easters, empty back set. Easters, dropping back. Doan, touchdown Bulldogs. Once again, Preston Terrell. He is the star of this team. We talked about him in the open. He's had multiple touchdown catches in this game. He's up to 5 touchdowns on the season.
The 6'3" junior with the great catch.
Terrell this week just committed to Purdue.
Ben Easter's the quarterback committed to Kansas, but there was some talk about him going to Purdue before he committed.
So now Clay Chase comes on for the extra point, 5:22 to go. Bulldogs lead 20-7, make that 21-7. What are the Tigers going to need to do on offense to get back in this game?
All right, so a big touchdown there. So we're going to jump back over to this Pendleton Heights New Pal game. And like you mentioned earlier, Cal, that 3-0 lead, seeing New Pal down, enjoy it because it's already gone. Dragons on top, 7-3, and a beautiful view from the game there, courtesy of our friends and brought to you here on IndyStar Friday Night Live.
Yeah, very cool scene there. That's a new field out there at New Pal. That's they got a turf field there last year. It used to be grass, but New Pal, as you see, 7-3 lead
the
now.
two teams lining up
We're
for
going
the
to jump
kickoff.
back over to this Fishers-Brownsburg game and see what happens here after the kickoff. And again, this game now 21-7. I know it was only 7-14 not long ago, but just brought you that touchdown score, and they are extending that lead. It's going to be tough to Fishers to see if they don't let that slow them down and get some momentum back in this game to maybe get back into this thing before it gets out of hand.
Yeah, this Fishers team had only been allowing 183 yards of total offense per game. So this is a surprise to see Brownsburg 21 points already, although they have a very good offense. So, they have bounced back nicely from that loss to Avon last week so far. Still a long way to go in this game, though.
Absolutely. So we'll take it away with the call and see what they can do when this possession starts after the kickoff.
The 28-29.
Ben, I don't want to forget, but has Brownsburg even punted the ball this game?
I'm not sure. Yeah, the Bulldogs offense has been up to the task of facing this Tiger defense. So now let's see what Marcus Rue and the Tigers offense does. Rue, man in motion, takes the snap. Rue will take it himself. Marcus Rue moving and brought down.
A fresh gain of 10 or 11.
TJ Tanner on the tackle. First down at the Tigers' 38. Now under 5 minutes to go in this first half. Under 5 to go in the first half. Tigers with it. First down at 10. Trailing by 2 possessions. Handoff Dylan Scally. Scally looks like will be spotted at the 40.
There hasn't been many open holes for Scally tonight. 95 on Brownsburg has really just been a whole unit for them tonight in the trenches.
Dane Middlebrook is the player you're referencing. He is committed to Tulane, and he is a senior defensive lineman committed to Tulane. Tulane, as I mentioned. Rue, empty back set. 2 to his left, 3 to his right. Rue takes the snap, looking, throwing, caught. Enough for the first down on the reception by Dylan Scally.
Clock stops with him getting out of bounds.
So first and 10. Cooper on the tackle for the Bulldogs. Ball at the 49 in Bulldogs territory. Now Reese Bolin, Nick Lease.
Reggie Cook, Jeff Simmons, and Dylan Scally.
Reggie Cook Graham was a question mark heading into this game. Scally now with Rue. Rue throwing for Jeffrey Simmons, and Simmons was pushed out of bounds. No flag.
I feel like I may have seen a pass interference as well, Ben.
Yeah, he pushed him out of bounds.
But that ball did look uncatchable.
Yeah. Had he not been pushed out of bounds, who knows if Jeffrey Simmons would have caught that, because he's a big dude. So now Rue, 2nd and 10. Cook Graham in motion. Rue rolling to the right. Rue takes a big hit and throws incomplete.
Ball tipped by Brownsburg, almost intercepted off the tip.
And Rue gets up. On the sideline, backup quarterback Lucas Pruitt is standing right next to Coach Wimmer. So Pruitt is ready if they need him. Looks like Marcus
does look to seem to be okay, though.
Looks like Marcus is going to stay in the game as he's getting the signals from the sideline. And now looks like Fishers will take a timeout. As looks like there was some miscommunication there. Not exactly sure what play they were going to run. So the Tigers have one timeout remaining for the final 3 minutes and 30.
All right, we're going to jump back over to this Zionsville-Noblesville game. Right now, 3-0 Zionsville at midfield. Let's see what happens next with the call. And again, glad to bring you this action and this call from Jerry Baker and Perry Williams, our friends, Hamilton County TV, making it happen.
47 and shoved out of bounds that time. One of the guys out there is Carson Sanders again. Getting some help that time from various and sundry black-clad Noblesville Miller defenders, including Blaine McNabb. And it's 3rd down.
Cooper was on the catch for Zionsville, and there's again that throw out in that flat to try to open up that middle a little bit to get Price some running room is what they're trying to do.
Right down at the bottom of your screen, number 2, Brody Weitzel. He's the lone wide out of the near side to put a slot man to the left side of the offensive unit. The clock at 6:25 to go in this second quarter of play. Again, Wiseman out of the shotgun. And they'll blow the play dead again. And timeout's going to be taken by Zionsville on a 3rd down and 6.
Well, Jerry, obviously the Zions.
Tigers offense. One thing you cannot have in games like this is penalties.
Normally we don't see that many penalties from Fishers, or at least their offensive line.
So 3rd and 15 now with the 46. The Tigers own 46. Rue back to throw. Rue throws it to Scally. Scally looking for blocks. Just barely gets back towards the original. No, incomplete. Complete 4th and 9.
Another punt from Fishers.
CJ Tanner on the tackle. Got gain of 6. 4th down and 9. And the Tigers.
Let's see if Brownsburg can drive it down the field in this final possession.
Jack Phillips to punt. Phillips bangs this one deep. And looks like Terrell's just going to let it fall.
All right, punt there, so let's jump back into this Zionsville-Noblesville game. Looks like he is fighting for every yard that he can get. Again, 3-0 in this game. Still a low-scoring affair as the second quarter starts to wind down. So let's take it away with the call and see what happens next.
Far side of the field, it'll be 1st out of 10 at the 32-yard line.
Weitzel on the catch, McNabb on the tackle over there. So
this is important, in my mind, Perry, an important defensive series for Noblesville.
Oh, absolutely. They got to have a stop right here. Got to have a stop right here.
They've given up 3, and that's okay. You can live with that at halftime, but you don't want to get that next touchdown late in the quarter. Here's the handoff again to Price, who tries to go over the left side, and there's nowhere to go over there. Any number of guys out to make the tackle that time. And it'll be 2nd down.
Looks like Joshua Robbins, a sophomore, 5'9", 270, sophomore on the stop there with a host of other Millers to help him out.
So they stopped him right at the right of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10 with 5.5 to go now in the first half of tonight's game. Here we go. Passing on the near side again.
Oh,
and it is
almost
picked off. Again, out there in the area, number 4, Blaine McNabb. 88, Lucas Williams likewise was in the area. And the clock will stop.
All right, going to break in the call now to just give you some score updates from around the area on a lot of games happening right now. In that Ben Davis Warren Central game, it's Ben Davis 7, Warren Central nothing. Right now, Mooresville up 14-7 against Decatur Central. Westfield 10, Hamilton Southeastern 7. Bishop Chatard with a big 21-0 lead as they take on Southport right now. Again, Avon, a team I've been watching and everyone's been watching as they continue a really impressive run this season, up 21-7 against Franklin Central. Speedway enjoying a 14-0 lead against Monrovia. Cardinal Ritter enjoying a 7-0 lead against LaPel. Whiteland 21, Perry Meridian 3. Then we have Lawrence North 10, Carmel nothing. And last but not least, Roncalli 27, Cecina nothing. So a lot of quite a few teams with nothing on the board yet and some big leads. So we're going to jump back into the action here against Zionsville, again Noblesville, another game where one team is still waiting to get on the board.
Tonight, Zionsville offense starting to crank on. Here's the pass in the flat of the far side. It is incomplete. Pass intended for Firestone. Colin Price, we've talked about him. Last year was 10th in the state in rushing yards.
As a freshman.
Yep.
And didn't start. And I think I'm correct on this, he didn't start until the 5th game of the season because they didn't want to bring a young freshman up too early. And
yeah, he's very impressive.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, he's a real deal.
Clock just inside 5 minutes to go now here in the second quarter of tonight's game. Here's the handoff. There he goes straight up the middle, inside the 5, down to around the 4, perhaps even down to the 3-yard line. And it's going to be a first down and goal for the Eagles. And again, part of that blocking due to that big line up front.
Yeah, I'm not sure that you and I couldn't have, well, maybe not you and I, but someone could have. That was a big hole. That was a big hole there.
Don't go nuts, Barry. You and I couldn't have gotten through there if they'd have.
But that was a pretty good hole there.
Well, yeah. It's first down and goal from the 4-yard line. And here's again the situation. They're going to throw for it on first down into the end zone and overthrown. Pass intended for Firestone.
Richardson on the coverage over there on Firestone.
Zionsville unranked at the start of the season, and of course with those 2 losses back-to-back to Westfield and Franklin Central, have fallen out of any opportunity to get ranked in the state, either by the coaches or the Associated Press, so they are unranked coming into tonight's game. And an interesting situation with them as far as their tournament lineup is concerned. We'll talk about that if we get an opportunity, because they're in one sectional this year and one class, and then next year they change everything over the right side and trying to win from 4 yards out. And that'll be the quarterback sneak by Wiseman.
Just pure power, that line just blew that hole wide open. We can see right here.
All right, and as you can see, big touchdown there on the quarterback keeper for Zionsville. That's going to extend this lead and put them up 9-0. So again, a big possession, and Noblesville, again, a lot to deal with against that Zionsville team who is continuing to run up that score there against them.
Yeah, that's going to be hard for a Noblesville offense that has really not done much all year and has struggled again tonight. So 10-0 there. Zionsville off to a pretty good start there late in the first half. Up at Noblesville.
Right on. So after that score, we want to bring you some more scores and big plays, courtesy of another batch of highlights that our Friday Night Live team has gone out and collected. So let's kick things off with our first highlight out of HSE. This is Chris Stein with a short touchdown run against Westfield that made the game 10-7 at that time. Jumping right along, we're going to roll over to that Brownsburg game and give a big 50-yard touchdown that Easters threw to Luke Lacey. And this is a big one here. Keep an eye, again, 50 yards. And I'll just let the play speak for itself because there's nobody even close to top.
He's wide open. Luke
I
Lacey,
might have been able to catch that one.
Luke Lacey's fast, but that looked like kind of a breakdown in the Fisher secondary as well.
Somebody missed something.
Yeah.
Jumping right along, another long play, a long touchdown run. This one by Hassel that put things up 7-0. We were able to bring you that on that Ben Davis game. So again, just some big plays being broken down here in the first half of these games that we've been tracking all night long.
That's an upset brewing there on the west side. Ben Davis looking for that would be a big statement win for the Giants.
Absolutely. Moving right along, of course, we got highlights from New Pal. This is going to be Lake and Roth with the quarterback keeper that put them back on top. Again, they had that little bit of a deficit. I can't call it a deficit, but they were down at one point. I promise you that New Pal was actually down in a football game this season. But, again, the quarterback said, I'll hold on to it and change that. And last but not least, this is going to be Easter's to Preston Terrell. Nice touchdown pass. And you told me something interesting that I was happy to hear about Preston, and I would love you to share that with the rest of our viewers here on Friday Night Live.
Well, just a few days ago, he committed to Purdue. So that's your guy right there.
And again, I'm showing my Purdue colors even though I'm not wearing them on my tie tonight, but go Boilers.
He's a big target, really good athletic receiver, and the more they can get him one-on-one coverage, he can really burn secondaries. He shows right there why he's so highly touted.
Right on. So we want to thank you again for joining us. Thank you to all of our network partners who are helping make IndyStar Friday Night Live possible. And another thank you to our sponsors, Bath Experts. So let's take a quick 60-second break and a word from them. All right, a big thank you again to our sponsors, Bath Experts, helping making this week's show and all season of IndyStar Friday Night Live possible, along with all of our team and our network partners who are bringing these games to you live as they happen. So we want to not waste any time and get back into some action right now.
Led to the touchdown run. So great block by that offensive lineman there for Martinsville. Could not quite pick the number up, but that's what led to the score. So after all the injuries Martinsville has had this game, and after Franklin has scored every time they've had the football, the Martinsville offense has kept this Martinsville team in the game. 3 minutes.
All right, that game getting out of hand, so we're going to go over to a game that's real tight now. Pendleton Heights 6, New Palestine 7, and this is, oh my gosh, just in time to see him hurdle that young man on special teams.
That's Maxon Hook, and he is an exceptional athlete, Toledo recruit, and he's something else. Defensively, they put him on offense too. Just a really good player.
And I don't want to spend too much time talking about the hurdle, but I'm just saying, in the age of social media, I feel sorry for you because you know somebody is putting that on the gram right now. There's a boomerang of him getting jumped over. So apologies for your weekend, young man. It'll get better. Trust me. Let's take it away with the call on the action right now.
Kid to make it. It's just a dangerous play in high school.
39-yard return, but it will be coming back. They're waving the flag now. They're waving the flag. We'll be right back on TV 40 Sports. Can New Palestine capitalize with 1:20 to play in the second quarter?
All right, jumping back into this Martinsville Franklin game, and as you can see, 33-19. This thing's getting out of hand fast, but we'll see if things can turn around. Maybe it won't happen this quarter, maybe after halftime. So let's take it away with the call and see what happens next.
They're struggling toward the first part of this game, but now he's really going. Byerly back to pass. He's throwing it. Throws into double coverage, and it is knocked away. I thought Artesians had a chance for an interception there. And now Billy Bias, number 11, who was one of those defensive players back there, comes up limping just a little bit. Ethan Potter.
All right, jumping back into this action between Pendleton Heights and New Pal. Right now, 6-7. New Pal with that 1-point lead, but it looks like they're marching and threatening to change that in a jiffy. Let's take it away with the call and see what happens next.
On US 52 in New Pal will treat you like family, and they wish you, the New Palestine Dragons, good luck.
Pendleton Heights has called their third and final timeout.
Probably a good timeout. You're not going to get the ball
slow
back.
Slow it down. Say, fellas.
That's right.
Take a deep breath. Get lined up, be fundamental, and play like we've been playing. We've done a great job in the first half. Finish the half. Finish the half. I'm still going back to the hurdling. Non-call. He advanced beyond the 50, but they brought the ball back to the 50. Did not administer a penalty from that spot.
Yeah, let's take a look at the replay here.
I don't get it. So he makes the cut outside. He comes here. He's over the kid. That's the 50 there. He goes out of bounds on the plus 45. But the ball's spotted on the 50, but they wave the flag. And it would have been a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty.
Yeah, that's interesting. Not sure what happened there. I don't know if the officials do either. We got 1:14 to play here in the second quarter. I'm Todd Mello along with Brett Comer, our statistician, spotter, and producer Tim Borf, Dave West, our director, and our amazing crew here at TV 40 Sports. And Spiegel will carry a few guys down inside the 25 to the 23, close to a first down.
Yeah. Tim, I'm gonna go up front. When you start looking at people, King just took his backer all the way, or maybe even a D tackle on the line of scrimmage. He was 10 yards deep.
Spiegel sidesteps
Nice
a man, and he'll take it down to the 15-yard line.
We got a fresh set of D linemen coming in.
It's a hot, humid night tonight here in New Palestine High School.
We got a kid in limbo now. We may end up with a pen. Nope, I got him off the field.
Roth will give to Spiegel again. Man, he just bulldozes guys down to the 6-yard line. He's going to be brought down by Kirby Hess, the quarterback for Pendleton Heights. And they did. There is a timeout on the field. Looks like New Palestine called timeout with 34.5 to go in the first half.
To say they're getting a push, Todd, would be an understatement right now.
Yeah, there's a penalty flag over on the far left side.
Oh, block in the back.
Annie Moore Volkswagen is the newest VW dealership in the greater Indianapolis area, located on US 36 in Avon. Ask for Ben or Mike to get a great deal on Annie Moore Volkswagen in Avon.
Penalty was for a hold, apparently. Yeah, I thought I just saw a signal.
Our thanks to Motzi's Pizza for feeding our crew tonight and for the support of high school football and the TV 40 game of the week. For the best pizza in Hancock County, call Motzi's Pizza 317-861-1111. Order a large one-topping pizza, breadsticks, and a 2-liter bottle of pop for only $17.99. Top secret sauce, homemade dough, and fresh ingredients. Motzi's Pizza.
Did you eat any of that pizza, Todd?
I did not. I did not.
Should have got here earlier. I did.
Yeah, was it good?
It was.
Yeah. You're welcome to Hancock County, coming from Hendricks County,
know,
right?
It was quite the drive getting here, I'll tell you that.
A lot of construction going on in central Indiana right now.
Yeah, just a little bit. 465 was an adventure. Yeah, there's been no administration of a penalty. But then again, they didn't do one early either. So who knows what we're doing.
Now they're backing them up. I smell hamburgers. You smell those hamburgers up here?
That's because you didn't eat any pizza.
Oh, man. Somebody's grilling some hamburgers here in New Palestine
We'll send
Stadium.
this guy down here to get one.
Let's do it.
Hey, who are you going to give the ball to, Todd?
Spiegel.
Okay. Nope.
And Roth will keep it this time.
Faked you out.
Gets down to the 10-yard line, brought down by Camden early.
Now, it's just good, quote-unquote, sportsmanship to be getting up really slow right now if you're Pendleton Heights. Make them kick you off. They call timeout. They can do what they want.
Gain of about 7. 3rd down and 8. Camden early playing 2 ways for Pendleton Heights. They actually have 3 2-way starters. Would fatigue set in here? Let's take a look at the replay here.
You know it's going to, especially on a night like this.
All right, another timeout in that game. So let's jump back over to Warren Central and Ben Davis as they come out of the half. Right now, Ben Davis 7-0 over Warren Central. And Kyle, what do you think about how this has been unfolding tonight?
Well, surprised. Warren has struggled a little bit offensively. Clearly, they're shut out in the first half. But we saw last week Ben Davis stayed close with Center Grove for a half, and then got blown out in the second half. So can Ben Davis put a full game together? We're about to find out here after this screen gets unfrozen. And,
all right, we're going to jump back over as they're dealing with it. Coming out of the half, I know it's sometimes difficult. It's hard for everybody. So we're going to see if New Pal can take advantage of the field position they're in right now to see if they can extend this lead against Pendleton Heights.
Trying to get into the end zone, and he's going to be wrapped up real short, about the 3-yard line. I think he might have the first down. It's going to be 1st and goal.
Yeah, he's got the first down, not the touchdown. But 17 seconds on the clock. That ball gets spotted. It's going to run.
Yeah, they're going to run the clock.
They're keeping it in their pockets. It's a smart play.
Timeout has 1 timeout left. New Palestine does. They won't call it here, and Spiegel will take it close to the goal line. He's short. And why is the clock not running? They did call timeout. Okay.
Oh, now they do. 4.8 on the clock, Todd.
It looked like it stopped there for a second or two. Is that a home clock operator over there?
I have no comment.
That never happened at Brownsburg, did it?
No comment. Actually, yeah, the other way.
Yeah.
I recall a couple of bad stops.
I'm sure Lance instructed the people over at Noblesville to do that once or twice, right?
I'm not touching that one either.
Take a look at the Indiana Members Credit Union replay here, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, you give it to the horse, by all means. They got a little pressure, though. I mean, what's the number? He's getting driven back here. 28 did a good job just by getting upfield, causing it to bounce, and that gave his teammates a little chance to get there to help make a play.
And this is an interesting call here because if they don't score,
they're
going to run out of time. That'll be it. So do you throw it here or do you run it?
You got the #1 rusher in the history of high school football.
Yes.
And a big offensive line against a team that's rotating kids in, so give him credit. If I'm Pendleton, I'm going to shoot the biggest gun I've got right now to try and make a play.
Let's see how many white jerseys tackle Spiegel before he even gets the ball. Takes it into the end zone. Charlie Spiegel.
Todd, he didn't even have to take it in the end zone because the offensive line scored with their guy, which gets him into the end zone.
And as you can see, the inevitable Charlie Spiegel touchdown. That's going to put New Pal up 13-6 against Pendleton Heights. And again, Pendleton Heights has been playing tough. What do you think about how they've been handling that usual offensive onslaught that New Pal usually puts on the field?
Well, you can tell they're clearly focused in on Spiegel, which every team does, but they're doing a good job. Forced New Pal to use all their timeouts there. That was a big play. That was no timeouts left in the half. New Pal had to get that or the clock was going to run out on them. And when you got the best running back in the state, that tends to work pretty well for you. But that was a big play there.
Absolutely. So now after that score and as that game rolls into the half, we're going to jump back over to some more action here on Friday Night Live right now.
But Gibson there doing a great job getting some open field finally.
Gibson looks right side, fakes again, open field, and he will be brought down from behind. Ball comes out, picked up by Warren Central. Willie Eaton rumbling the other way, and touchdown Warren Central. You can't be serious. As Gibson thought he was down, fumble from behind. Willie Eaton scoop and score. Warren Central gets their first touchdown off of a 30-yard fumble return score.
Well, Logan, we talked about this at the top of the break. I mean, Ben Davis, they had to do a good job and just execute for 24 minutes. This is almost a copy and paste from last week against Center Grove when Gibson fumbled the ball himself and Center Grove wound up scoring. But now the Warriors are right back in this ball game.
My goodness. What a play there, Warren Central.
All right, as we take a look at the extra point attempt, again, a big turnover turned into a touchdown for Warren Central. If they make this extra point, it'll tie things up 7-7. And it looks like it is all good. And again, that is a big play to start this second half. What do you think?
Yeah, Warren's defense says if the offense isn't going to score, we're going to go ahead and take care of things here. And that's a huge play. Ben Davis had all the momentum going. and turnover. And that's Ben Davis has just struggled with, keeping the ball, just holding on to the ball. Too many turnovers, too many mistakes. Warren takes advantage and turns it into 6 points there.
Got to do it.
All tied up.
Right on. So let's jump back over some more action. This is Westfield and Hamilton Southeastern. Right now, Westfield up 10-7 on HSC. And they are, again, coming out of the half as well and seeing who can really take advantage. And, that big run play is a nice way to get the momentum rolling for HSC. So let's take it away with the call and see what happens next.
That's just the big guys for HSC. Take a look at them. This trap play, beautiful trap block there on that left side by Jack Greer. Big haul and 2 nice runs by the Royals.
Now it's 2nd and 1. See if they'll keep it on the ground again with the sophomore Blaine Wirtz. They will. Spins off of 1 tackle and has a first down. He's to the 39-yard line before he's finally wrapped up there and taken to the ground by Owen Ogle,
over now out
the
of this
senior
action
D-lineman.
Try and bring you some action from the Zionsville-Noblesville game. They're actually going to go to a timeout, but give you the lay of the land. Right now, Zionsville up 10-0 as the half is starting to wind down, and they are threatening to score more. And again, as you mentioned, Noblesville has had some struggles this season and previous season. What do you think about how they're dealing with what Zionsville's bringing to them tonight?
Well, defensively, doing a nice job. Justin Roden's a second-year coach in Noblesville. They had a lot of seniors on last year's team. They made some strides, won 4 games. They knew this year they were losing a lot, and certainly it's been a struggle for them, especially on the offensive side. But I still think, if they can hang in there and keep this a close game, you come away with some confidence sometimes, even in a loss. And if they can keep this game close, I think it'd be kind of somewhat of a moral victory for the Millers.
Absolutely. Well, let's see if they can keep it close. Again, half winding down, but Zionsville threatening to score. Let's take it away with the call.
So with first down and 10, the ball spotted right at the 15-yard line. 32.3 to go in the first half. Over the middle, passes caught inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. That's a terrific throw and catch to Brody Whitesville that time.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a first and goal.
Yeah, just a pure slant over that middle right there.
Yeah, nothing fancy about it. They'll set it up at the 3-yard line.
Stop the clock here.
And they'll spike it it'll be second down and goal from the 3 with 21:4 to play.
Jerry, I think it's halftime. Here at halftime, there's a lot of festivities going on. So I think we'll probably won't have an interview. We'll try to do the festivities here with I believe they crowned the Queen and they honored the 50 and 25 year.
That sounds great.
So it's a pretty good ceremony here, and then we'll come back. So
fade pattern in the end zone overthrown. Will Wolford is our producer. He tells me we can get good audio coming from the field, so we'll just let you enjoy the halftime.
Absolutely.
17.5 to play. And this is a situation, Perry, this is the worst nightmare for Noblesville right now.
Absolutely.
They had a chance to get something on the board. Now they're just trying defensively to stay alive.
Touchdown.
Over the middle of the pass is caught, and a touchdown.
Feccarello on the catch. Feccarello on the catch for the tight end.
Okay.
One thing this series, there was 3 passes to the tight end, so evidently they picked up something and started using the tight end. But they have tremendous weapons here on offense. They're a great offensive team with the running and the passing game here.
So Dom Veccarella, who's listed as the starting H-back, picks up the 4-yard touchdown reception. And here's the point after attempt. And it is good.
Well, the one thing about it is that right now, the Millers.
All right, so touchdown there for Zionsville. So let's jump back over to Westfield and Hamilton Southeastern. Still 10-7 in Westfield's favor, but HSC is looking to change that right now. Let's take it away with the call.
Catch is made by Boyson. He'll get the ball inside of the 10-yard line. Won't go any further. Good job of quickly closing in on him by Bryson Hoover. But that is Boyson with a catch.
Now look at this catch by Boyson. He makes this look a little easier. That's not that easy of a catch. Goes up, kind of reverses all the way around, grabs this one, brings it in. Nice catch.
2nd and 6 after the 4-yard pickup by Boyson, the 6'1", 190-pound senior. Right now he's split out wide left. Standing out there with him is Tony Myers, number 8. Now Myers in motion. Keep it on the ground. Inside of the 5, falling ahead to the 4-yard line goes Wirtz.
Well, this is flat out a different front line. It's the same people, but the different results. They're coming off the football, doing a lot of trap blocking, which can be a little tricky if you're on the defensive side. You got to do some reading or you get blindsided. The traps have been working for HSE.
Now it's 3rd and a short 2. HSE can pick up a first down without scoring. They'll give it to Wirtz. Digging for the end zone. Touchdown, Hamilton Southeastern. And the Royals have just taken the lead.
All right, so a big run and a touchdown there for HSE. They're going to take the lead, but it looks like we've got another scoring opportunity on another game we're tracking. Warren Central and Ben Davis. Warren Central in the red zone and threatening to add some more points to this tied-up matchup. Let's take it away with the call and see what happens next.
Count Giants showing blitz. Play action. Moore looking in the flat. Makes the completion to Chris Atkins, who will be shoved out of bounds. Gain of 2 on the play.
It was a good stop there by Jimmy Phil-Samey. And receiver there, he could have had a chance to break it upfield, but just, again, clean coverage there by Phil-Samey on that one.
All right, just want to jump in and give you a little more info. Again, this game's 7-7. It wasn't always that way. Like you mentioned before, surprising to see Ben Davis enjoy the lead they had for so long. But who scored that last that gave Warren Central this tie game?
Yeah, that was Willie Eaton. He had an interception earlier in the game and then picked up that fumble from Trent Gibson of Ben Davis and ran it in for the touchdown. And then there you see number 10, Randy Wells. Had a big run earlier this drive, and he's been solid all year for Warren. Had a chance to write about him last week. His great story with grandparents have raised him, and really has had a good career at Warren and playing defense and offense, and mostly running back this year. But having a great season. Warren knocking on the door again, looking for more.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. Let's take it away.
Plenty of contact, incomplete. Warriors not going to get the flag that they wanted there.
That was just not a very well executed play right there. Allen was the only receiver in that area. There wasn't even some guy trailing across the back of the end zone on that play. Just not the best play design.
Looking for that comeback, but Jalen Dobson was all over it, not allowing Allen to get turned as the kicking team going to come on out.
Jackson missed one earlier, and that was closer to midfield, closer to the left hash, and he hooked it wide left. So we'll see how this hash, the field position will affect this kick.
24-yard field goal attempt on the right hash, like you mentioned. Jackson gets it up, and this one is true. Joe Jackson knocking in the 24-yard field goal to give the Warren Central Warriors their first lead of the evening with 4:34 to go in the third quarter.
All right, so we're going to jump back over after that field goal into this Decatur Central Mooresville game. Mooresville still enjoying that 14-7 lead. Score's been that way for a while, but they are marching again, threatening to score. Again, this is brought to us by our friends at Indiana SRN, so let's take it away with the call.
Coach Gillen. He's averaged on the season about 85 yards per game as Robinson here in week 5, trying to continue that average. Lead his team to 6. Under center's Perry. Perry gives it off to Robinson. Robinson full head of steam. He's shoestring tackled after a gain of about 2. Bring up 3rd and short. And now we see Green rush back onto the field. So at the very least, I think you're exactly right, Charles. They like to use him in the red zone, but a good change of pace back to have 2 running backs that are averaging above 5 yards per carry.
And so now if you're defense, you have to know that Green is back in the game. Got to make sure you tackle him. Again, missed tackles can and will be a key part of this game. So far, penalties have been a big part in this drive.
That's how he scored the last time. Bunch formation. 2 fullbacks and then 1 man in the backfield is Green. They'll hand off to Green. Green gets the outside. He's got some space, cuts back inside. He's thrown down to about the 8. Breaking Green, continuing where he left off in that first half.
Just want to break in with a quick update on that HSC game. Extra point was good, so the score in that matchup right now against Westfield, 10-14 in favor of HSE, so they've bounced back nicely. Also wanted to chime in that because of homecoming activities throughout the area, we were unfortunately not able to bring you band action here on Friday Night Live. I'm upset about it. You're upset about it. We'll hopefully be back with more bands next week. Mark my words. Let's take it away with the call.
Reed got space, and he's in for 6. Second touchdown to the ground for Green. His 9th on the season. All Pioneers, they are now up by 2 scores, PAT pending.
And did you see that stutter step, the patience
beautiful
that Green has? He went to the left, recognized he didn't have anything, bounced it back to the inside, and then, just look at the run here. This is the previous run before the touchdown. He bounces it to the outside. He recognizes he has nothing in the middle, uses that speed that he has, gets to the outside and breaks a tackle. We'll come back with the replay after the PAT, but his vision has just been exceptional tonight.
Bodell 18 for 18 on point after tries, and the Hawks jumped again. The last time a penalty happened this close for an extra point, Mooresville declined it. They're going to do that again here. I don't know if it's a rhythm thing with Bodell, if they're just content where they're at. Take another look. There's that hesitation you liked so much, Charles.
Yep.
Assuming that's the previous play that set them up for the touchdown run. Bodell gets set for this point after try to make it a 2-score game. Good snap, the hold, and that kick is right down Broadway. 21-7. All Pioneers.
All right, so again, big score there in that Mooresville matchup. Scores 21-7 there, so that was a bit of a highlight. But let's bring you some more highlights, because when it's Friday Night Live, the whole night's basically a highlight. So let's jump into some more action from that Ben Davis matchup we've been watching. This one is going to be a defensive play. Ronald Edwards with an interception in the end zone. He went and said, "Get it, Tippett."
Nice catch.
I'll take that. Just disrespectful. I like the celebration afterwards, too.
Yeah, Ben Davis doing a nice job in this game, staying close. 10-7 was our last score on that one. I think we'll be going back to that game here shortly.
Absolutely. Going to roll over to some action in Pendleton. This here, Clay Britt with a long completion. And again, went up and got it, which is a nice way to bring it in. And that was a big play because it set up another big play. This is going to be Nick Taylor field goal that made it 7-6. So again, a really big matchup there. That game's still really, really close. A big surprise for, I think, a lot of people.
Yeah, it was 7-6 up until the last 4 seconds of the first half, and then Spiegel runs it in. It's 14-6 at halftime. So Pendleton Heights still hanging in there, though. Not a lot of teams can say that they've hung in there with New Pal.
Exactly, they're not going away. And we're not going away, but we're going to take a quick 60-second break, courtesy of our sponsors, Bath Experts. All right, a big thank you to our sponsors, Bath Experts, for helping making IndyStar Friday Night Live possible. But let's jump into some action right now. Remember that touchdown we just showed you from HSE? Well, after a big run play, they decided they want a little bit more. Right now, they're enjoying that 14-10 lead, but a big run has brought them inside the 10. Let's take it away with the call and see if they can run up this score.
We have a stoppage of play. What do we have here? The official from the HSE sideline came running in to stop something. I think maybe he wants an Westfield player to exit the game, maybe for either injury or equipment. And that's what has happened. They have asked that Voris leave the game. The official has, so he has to exit. Hauser replaces him for Westfield. And now here we go, 1st and 10 from the Westfield 12-yard line. Inside run this time to Boyson. And Westfield had him stacked up right away. There's Bryson Hoover again. I didn't call Hoover's name once in the first half. I've called.
All right, HSC still knocking on the door, but let's jump over to that action between Ben Davis and Warren Central, our MIC Network game of the week, and it looks like Ben Davis is marching once again. So again, this matchup has been a good one, and it's getting into crunch time. The third quarter is rolling down, so whoever gets an advantage now might be in good position to take this thing home.
This is where Ben Davis wants to be right now. It's a shortened game. You got a little more than 12 minutes left. They've got the ball in position here to put it in the end zone. Olajuwon Hassel, number 10 there, has been a key part of this game. He's so quick. If he can get to the edge, even on this defense, he's really a threat to score. We'll see what Ben Davis can do here.
All right, let's take it away with the call.
Here's the snap, keeps it himself, takes it right side, and will push his way forward just past the 25-yard line. Coming up with the tackle was Jalen Frazier, as that will take us to the end of the third quarter. Ben Davis moving the ball well, but it's the Warren Central Warriors on top, 10-7, entering the fourth quarter. Tyler, what do you see down there on the field? We're going to take a quick break here, fourth quarter action.
All right, we're going to jump back in to this matchup here, HSC and Westfield. Also, another quick score update. Sounds like Decatur Central just ran back a kickoff for a touchdown, so we'll get you an update there on the score right now. That is 21-14. Mooresville still with the advantage, but a big play there on special teams. So let's take a look and see where they go after the field goal attempt. Good by HSC. That's going to extend their lead 17-10. So the score is happening as fast as we can bring them to you here on IndyStar Friday Night Live, presented by Bath Experts.
Champions Network presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Talk about night and day. That second half has begun by being dominated by Warren Central. Whatever Coach West told the guys.
All right, actually, we're going to jump back into this game, Decatur Central and Mooresville. Like I said, this one changing up a little bit in that score. After that Mooresville score, Decatur Central returned the favor in the form of a kickoff return for a touchdown. So the score now 14-21. Mooresville still on top. Let's see what happens next.
Indiana SRN is on a race for their 1,000th follower. And for you, the viewers at home, you follow us at Indiana SRN. Our 1,000th follower will receive a gift card to Aspen Creek Grill. So again, that's at Indiana SRN on Twitter. Officials still conferring with one another, and they'll pick up the laundry and call it a day. So after all that, gain of maybe one at best, and Mooresville will operate at the 37. Elijah Perry, a touchdown pass to his name already tonight. Mooresville advantage is a score.
All right, we're going to jump over and give you some breaking band action. This right now is Martinsville's band, and we are coming right into the action, as you can see. And I always try to shout out the auxiliaries. They're sometimes the unspoken hero of any band organization, as those flags right now are moving in tight unison. And as you can see right now, if you look to the back of the screen there, midfield, those two auxiliaries, they did a sweeping pattern. That's sweeping right and left at the same time. You don't get that during football, and they're ducking down low. I want you to keep your eye on them because they're going to give you something special. Now, as you can see, the drum major getting things reconfigured, and they're going to go into a bit of a spread. Now, I'm not sure if they're completely done. They want to clear the field and give the opposition a chance, or if they're going to reconfigure to give us something special. And Kyle, I don't know how much you enjoy the bands. Sometimes you are at the games, and I'm sure you enjoy it, but maybe not as much as the football. So let's give you some more football. We're going to jump back into, as you can see, the action here in the Ben Davis game, I believe, or where are we going?
Yeah, Ben Davis looks like they just got on the board there. Trent Gibson running into the end zone, so that's a huge touchdown there. Ben Davis takes the lead. So number 2, Warren Central trails now in the fourth quarter here on the west side. This is a huge rivalry. We said anything could happen in this game, and certainly enough, Ben Davis takes the lead. Wow, this is a surprise. Fourth quarter surprise here on the west side.
Absolutely. You mentioned that big matchup, so we're going to jump over to another matchup that's still going on right now, Decatur Central and Mooresville. Again, this one was all Mooresville just a second ago, but a big special teams play has changed that. 14-21, plenty of time left in anyone's game. So let's take it away with the call and see who can come out on top on this one.
It's going to be after the play. It'll be officially spotted at about the 25-yard line.
And Mooresville's coaches are starting to get a little, I think they kind of realize this, it's getting crunch time. Things are getting a little antsy, some either late hits or hard hits or whatever. And Mooresville wants this game called fairly, and we'll see if it's going to go the way with the flag here on the field.
And additionally, I'd be antsy too if I was on the wrong end of 9 straight losses in a rivalry when at least on paper, this is probably an advantage to Mooresville going into tonight.
Yeah.
At least with what the two teams are bringing in. And they'll
so
pick up the flag. Much to the dismay of this homecoming crowd.
Yeah, and I think Mooresville wanted a blindside block on that kicking return, and they're not going to get it. I think he legally hit him on the side / in the forward of the front of the player. So, to me, it was a clean block. Mooresville fans obviously don't see it that way. And Decatur Central got the stop they needed on defense, and they got a special teams. They need their offense to do their.
All right, we're going to jump out of the action here just for a moment and bring you some more highlights from around the area. And first thing from a game that we've been watching all night, this is going to be the Warren, a Gibson fumble and an Eaton scoop up and score. It's going to tie things up 7-7 at that point in the game.
Very close there, Justin. Gibson looked like his knee was close to being down. Of course, no replay, instant replay in high school football.
That's tough.
But Willie Eaton picks it up and takes it the distance. That's Warren's only touchdown tonight, though.
Hey, defense makes it happen, and that is a big one. I know they're glad to have it. We're going to jump into some more action. This one out of that HSE game that has gotten really fast and furious in a hurry. Wirtz with a short touchdown run that put them up 14-10. And again, HSE, after being down for a lot of this, has changed the tide in that game really quickly.
We saw that it was 10-0 early on. Westfield led, and it looks like HSE has found something in the run game and really pounding away at the middle of that Westfield defense. And now leads, I believe, 17-10. So a good turnaround there for HSE. They really need this win. They're 1-3 coming in. Westfield's undefeated, so this would be a big win for HSE.
It would be, and they're playing like they need it. So shouts out to them. We'll see if they can hold on to it. So we're going to jump right back into that action we were bringing you earlier between Decatur Central and Mooresville. Again, that game also similarly changing momentum,
choo-choo in the
changing
background
the tide
with momentum
right
train.
now, 14-21, and we're going to keep things rolling here with the call courtesy of Indiana SRN.
By the receiver to the outside, yards after catch. Again, Decatur Central has players on this team where they can do things out in the open field. They just need the opportunity, and right now Coach Enright calling the right plays, offensive coordinator calling the right plays, getting the ball in your playmakers' hands, letting them do the rest.
This train has derailed a couple times tonight. Let's see if Horsley and company can get it to its destination. Fake a handoff. Horsley going to go around the edge, gets a block, and he's going to be tackled after a gain of about 4. It'll bring up a second and about 6. So the passing game still yet to be utilized aggressively by Decatur Central, but they have enough exotic packages in the run game to keep Mooresville guessing.
And that's what you want as an offense.
And we're going to jump in and show you something that just happened. HSC, they've been making it happen, and they wanted to make it happen again. A big touchdown run that's going to extend their lead against Westfield right now. And I got to say, man, this game has changed a whole lot really quickly.
That's funny. We just talked about how they found something in the middle of that defense, and there they go again.
Man.
Long run for HSC, and they're taking control of this game 24-10 now. Defense has done a great job, and now the offense, right there you see, doing what they do on the ground. They've been a great last 3 quarters here for HSC.
Exactly. So a big game, and they are playing big to make this win that you mentioned. They need it. They're going to get it. So let's jump back into Mooresville and Decatur Central. Again, tide is turned here. Let's see if Decatur Central can try and tie things up, or if Mooresville is going to hold on to this one.
Junior, as Charles mentioned, he has saved many a fumble so far tonight. A big third down, 3rd and 9 from the Mooresville 41. Horsley going to take a shot, and it's complete close to the marker. Let's see where the spot is. Right now, if that's the spot, it's a first down.
I think they're going to give him the first of forward progress. It's right there. They're going to measure it.
I think it was Matt Cook on the reception. That's where it stands right now. Looks like a first down to me, but I think you're right, Charles. They might send the chains. No, they say they don't need a chain gain. First down for the Hawks. This is the furthest they've had a drive so far tonight.
Huge third down completion there. So you mentioned this, the best drive they've had here in the second half. They've been here before. Remember last time penalties brought them all the way back to the 45-yard line on a 4th down. So now you're in here again, you have to capitalize where you're at on this field position. You have to score.
Horsley in the gun. And a flag before the snap. Your Decatur Central, you're hoping it's not a false start. It looks like that way right now. It is indeed.
And again, penalties, killing drives. You started deep in your territory. You drive all the way down inside Mooresville territory, and you get pushed back 5 yards. You know, that's not going to necessarily derail the train, but that obviously hurts it. You have to play clean football here.
Be a 1st and 15 now. Ball on the Mooresville 37. Horsley fake the pass. Now he'll roll out with it, and he's going to be tackled.
I want to take a quick break in the action to give you a score update on that New Palestine game that has been close, was not quite as close anymore after a long, it sounds like a huge touchdown pass, Lincoln Roth to Blake Austin. And I want to cue that up because we're going to be able to bring you that highlight here on IndyStar Friday Night Live in just a bit. So again, that one's starting to get out of hand, now 21-6 in favor of New Pal. So again, that deficit they were in for about a split second, it went away, and it went away big. So let's jump back into the call here in Decatur Central and Mooresville.
Stages of his high school career. So really the first time he's had full say of the offense.
And again, it comes with experience. When you're feeling pressure, you cannot take a sack at the point you're at. So throw the ball away, throw it out of bounds, live to see another day. And now with that penalty, it puts them back at the original line of scrimmage where they were moving the ball. So maybe this will get them the momentum back that they needed early on in the drive.
And the official call is that it's a face mask. We were still right on the personal foul, but the official says a face mask. So that'll bring it back, as Charles mentioned, to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 1st and 10, ball on the Mooresville 32-yard line. Decatur Central trying to tie this thing up. Horsley sends a man in motion, takes the snap. He fakes the handoff. He'll keep it himself. Horsley gets a full head of steam and carries some tacklers to about the 25-yard line.
They've run that play a good amount of times, and interesting that they don't let Tracy get to the outside, use his speed. Again, he's one of the fastest guys on the field. Let him get to the edge, set the edge. You set the edge now. That opens the middle of the field up later down for passing possibilities. And so far, he's kept the ball every single time running the middle. We'll see if they want to open up the edge.
Maybe they're attempting to set it up, perhaps, for later in the game. Horsley in the gun. 2nd and 5 from the 27. Horsley steps back, fires over the middle in double coverage, incomplete. Almost grabbed, though, by Caleb Hicks, the fullback. They took a shot and been very surprised at the confidence level in Coach Enright and Horsley. He's let him take a couple shots so far on this drive.
And I think you got to have, confidence in your quarterback. If he doesn't have confidence and you don't have confidence, your team's not going to go anywhere. Right. Open the playbook up for him. Let him throw the ball. He's played a clean game so far. Both quarterbacks have played a clean game so far. That time you try to put some touch on the ball there, but you have to recognize where the safeties and cornerbacks are playing. They're playing back, so a lofty pass like that gives them more time to intercept the football.
Big 3rd down, 3rd and 5. Horsley in the gun. He'll hand it off. Tracy tries to get around the edge. He does for the 1st down and more. Deep inside the red zone, and the Hawks are in business. 1:09 to go in the 3rd.
And we mentioned he finally gave it to Tracy to get to the outside, set the edge. And you saw the speed there. He did a nice stiff arm to get a defender off, and then he used his speed, gets the 1st down marker, have a couple more yards, to get that 1st down. Now you're not deep inside the red zone, but you're inside the red zone now. Their first red zone attempt in tonight's matchup.
And if you're the Hawks and Coach Enright, it's got to be 6 here. Horsley in the gun, sends a man in motion. It's Hicks. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, now keep it himself. Mooresville is ready for it, but they missed the initial tackle. The back line, though, was ready for it as well. It'll be 2nd down. They'll give him forward progress, maybe a gain of a yard.
And again, I think Hensley has to recognize where the pressure's coming from. That was wide open that time for Tracy to get to the edge and to establish the outside. He likes to run that on the QB sneak there. I like to see him hand it off like he did last time. Give it to Tracy on the outside. Let him set the edge and use his speed to get to the end zone.
Final 40 seconds of this 3rd quarter. 2nd and 10, ball on the 17-yard line. Decatur Central trying to tie this up. Low snap. Horsley fires, and it's in the dirt. Looks like he was aiming the way of Murillo. It'll fall harmlessly to the turf for a 3rd and 10.
And Coach Enright not happy on the sideline. Receiver, quarterback not on the same page. I'm not sure what Horsley was looking for there. He had a receiver. If he turned around, he had a receiver open, but he was still running and completing his route. He didn't have any pressure on him, so if you're the quarterback, hold that ball until the receiver is done with his route. He's completed it, and he's looking at you with his hands ready to receive the ball.
3rd and 10, 26 seconds. Reads the clock in this 3rd quarter. Gator Central down a score. Horsley pump fakes once, rolls right, fires in the end zone, incomplete. Tried to go upstairs for Cook. He could not get.
All right, incomplete pass there, but want to show you a big turnover that just happened in this Ben Davis Warren Central game, and that is unfortunate for Ben Davis. They just crossed midfield, coughed it up, and Kyle, you mentioned turnover troubles for that team.
That has been the problem. You know, they've got the weapons. It's just the mistakes that have killed Ben Davis last year as well. And you see it there. And now Warren Central set up here inside Ben Davis territory. Running out of time, though. Just a little over 5 minutes left in this game. It's moving fast. Warren needs a touchdown on this drive to take the lead.
Absolutely. We'll see if Ben Davis's defense can make it happen while the offense, unfortunately, coughed it up on that last opportunity. So we'll take it away with the call.
Gonna be, looks like, called on Carnell or Allen. We'll see if it's offensive or defensive pass interference, as the officials would like to huddle. We saw Moore with the pump fake and was looking for Allen. We'll see what the official call is. All the umpires having a long discussion.
You would think it's a no-brainer against Carnell because Allen was nowhere near that ball. He was just trying to fight through that contact, but we'll see what the officials decide here.
This could be a hold here. We'll see exactly what the call is. And it is holding on Ben Davis, and then offensive pass interference on Warren Central. The penalties will offset.
That was a good call there, Logan, on the offensive pass interference. I didn't necessarily see that there. I will have to take a look at the replay, but you have to argue that offensive pass interference was crucial because you had a first down there with that defensive hold.
Nonetheless, 1st and 10 again from the 40. Let's run it back as Moore gonna take the snap. Look, left side. Owen in the middle. It's tipped. Incomplete pass there as the Giants once again all over that one. Nearly picked off. My goodness.
Good read right there by Phil Samey. You saw the guys on the left side of that screen just abandon that man for Warren Central, try to make a play on the ball. I mean, that was a big risk, but at the same time, that almost paid off big for them.
Remember that extra point by Fox turning out to be crucial. The Warriors need 6 to take the lead. A field goal won't do with 5:13 on the clock. 2nd and 10, Moore rolling, left side, pulls up, throws it deep for Allen, and that's gonna be out of bounds, incomplete.
And that was just clean coverage right there. Excellent job there by Capone Powell. I mean, he was with him stride for stride. Moore had to put it in a spot where only his guy could get it, and unfortunately Brown wasn't able to come away with that one. Or excuse me, Allen.
3rd and 10 now for the Warren Central Warriors. This Ben Davis defense has been tough this whole 4th quarter, not allowing an inch from the Warriors.
Moore's been 0 for 3 on this drive. Can he finally complete one?
Moore keeps it himself. Has a hole up the middle. 1st down, Warren Central down at the 29-yard line. Knuckles coming up with the tackle. And that fooled everyone.
I was going to say the exact same thing. Moore, you only saw like 1 or 2 scrambles from him throughout this entire ball game. I mean, he's quite an athlete himself, but he's more of a pocket presence passer, but still excellent play call there by Jason West.
Got a lead block here from Wells, and Moore did the rest. Under 5 minutes to go now in this 4th quarter. Ball on the 29-yard line. Wells just to Moore's left in the backfield. Moore, handoff, Wells up the gut. Breaks a tackle, falls forward just past the 25-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play.
Just keep looking at that clock, Logan. There's still enough time with under 4.5 to go. But meanwhile for Ben Davis, if Warren Central finds their way into the end zone, how much time will the Giants have to work with?
Quickly now, Moore looks left side, pump fakes, looks long for Allen, has him, goes up, and touchdown Warren Central! Derek Allen goes over the top and puts the Warren Central Warriors on top of the Ben Davis Giants, 16-14 with 3:57 to play. A 25-yard strike here. Allen winning the 50-50 ball.
You said it, Logan. Capone Powell had
All right, so you can see big touchdown in this matchup. Warren Central going back on top against Ben Davis with that long catch in the back of the end zone there. So very, very nice concentration to bring that in. Right now sitting at 16-14. Let's see if they can add one on. And the refs say that's all good. So that's going to go to 17-14. And Kyle, thoughts on how Warren Central was able to stay focused and turn this thing back around in the fourth?
Well, as we were sitting here, we were kind of asking, why are they throwing the ball down the field? And then we see, okay, touchdown. Kobe Moore to Derek Allen. Derek Allen, one of the top receivers on the Warren Central team. Nice catch in the end zone. Ben Davis defensively done a great job all night. But Warren gets a turnover, and we talked about how those turnovers have hurt Ben Davis. Comes right back and bites him again, and Warren turns it into that's our only offensive touchdown tonight.
And that'll be a heartbreak if that one turnover is what cost them from what would have been a big win, an upset. So
Still
we'll stick
time
with
left.
this one. Yeah, a lot of time left, 4 minutes pretty much. So we'll see what happens. So we're going to jump back into another game that's not quite as close. This is New Palestine and Pendleton Heights, and this game kind of got out of a hurry. And what do you know? Another score. New Pal's going to go up. Now, there was some doubt there. There was a moment where there was actually a Charlie Spiegel fumble, but his team recovered it, and then they came back and scored yet again. So this one is right now sitting at 34-6. That's just how it goes.
See if they show that replay again. That's Maxon Hook again. We talked about him earlier. Dude's got some moves in the open field. That was a great run there.
A little bit
in the open field. So yeah, New Pal starting to put it on Pendleton Heights here late in the third quarter now. 34-6, impending extra point coming, and New Pal kind of a slow start. I'm sure Kyle Ralph not exactly thrilled with how they started this game, but again, starting to put it on Pendleton Heights. They kind of just wear you out the way Spiegel can run, and you saw their athleticism there too.
Tough. It's going to be a hard night for anybody. So with the attempt, and that's going to be no good, it looks like, on the attempt. So it'll stay at 34-6, but I'm sure that New Pal's not too upset about it. Nice little firework action. Look at that.
There you go.
All right, let's jump into some action after the fanfare is done. We're going to jump into the HSE Westfield game, and this one is one that the tide has turned. HSE has been piling it on right now, enjoying a 24-10 lead. So we're going to take it away with the call and see how this one shakes out.
Rhodes, the senior, came in with 22 receptions on the season, 4 touchdowns, and he's been targeted early and often tonight. Now they go back to the ground game in Wirtz. He'll be wrapped up and tackled by Hoover. But that clock now is a real enemy of Westfield. We're under 9 minutes to go.
Clock's running. 8:44 is exactly what you want if you're HSC. You're going to run this thing down until you absolutely need to go.
Yeah, that play clock starting at 40 seconds, and HSC is doing everything they can.
All right, we're going to jump back into this Warren Central Ben Davis game because Ben Davis did not let that unfortunate turnover and score slow them down. They are back on offense. It sounds like a big 10-yard run they just had, and they're going to see if they can keep the momentum they've had going. And ooh,
that's about as good as a 5-yard run from a Hassel there as you'll ever see. That was nice.
Absolutely. So we're going to stick with this one. It's super close. Time is winding down. Let's take it away with the call and see who comes out on top in this Warren Central Ben Davis matchup.
Man, Keelan Davis, the quick tackle it looks like, and Ben Davis offensive line, they're just suffering some more attrition down there.
Sophomore, 6'4", 260 for the Ben Davis Giants. Like you said, down there on side, getting attended to. We're going to take a quick break. On the opposite side of this break, we'll have more fourth quarter.
All right, taking a quick break in that game, so we're not going to slow down the action at all. We're going to bring you another batch of highlights collected by our IndyStar Friday Night Live team. We're going to kick things off in a game that's been almost all highlights, the New Pal game, and this is that big touchdown I mentioned earlier, Lincoln Rolfe to Blake Austin, and there was no one even close to catching him.
That was a great pass there by Lincoln Roth, and like you said, Blake Austin wide open there. And Lincoln Roth's had a really good, this is his first year as a starter. He's a junior. He's come in and really played well, done what they needed him to do, and as you said, new pal Justin starting to pull away in that game.
Absolutely. Let's jump back over to some more action in that Ben Davis game, which is a heck of a lot closer. This is that Gibson touchdown run. We were able to bring you that earlier, so let's take a look at another angle and look how he dives in to get it. Won't be stopped. He's fired up. Again, this game is unfolding right now. It's our MIC Network game of the week, so you can watch it in its entirety on IndyStar.com, and we are going to stick with that game because we don't want to miss what happens next. We're actually going to jump back into that action now with Ben Davis.
For a couple of yards there.
With the call. I'll stay out of the way. You guys enjoy.
Block in the back is going to be the call. But nonetheless, like you said, right there on Chris Peters, as that will push the Giants back, as the Warriors be more than happy to accept that penalty.
So again, another drive killer right there. I mean, still have plenty of time. Under 3 minutes to go, but if you're Ben Davis, you can't afford penalties like that.
2nd and 14, ball on Ben Davis's own 25-yard line. So they need to get to the 39. 2:35 to go in the fourth quarter. 3 men down for Warren Central. Gibson, left side, pitches it to Hassel. Has the edge again, works it outside, breaks the tackle, and is finally pushed down by Jalen Frazier on the far side, just past the 25-yard line.
Again, that's just another example right there of Hassel doing all the work horizontally, but unfortunately due to some poor blocking and good defense there by Warren Central, Hassel was just able to come up with very few yards vertically.
3rd and 14 now. As Ben Davis in definite 2-down territory here. And again, looking right side, Gibson showing his cards and is going to be brought down for a sack at the 20-yard line.
Looks like Damon Jones, his first sack of the year, and that could not come at a better time.
Huge sack by Jones as that pushes the Giants all the way back to the 20-yard line.
And how have you not taken a timeout yet?
And finally, Coach Simmons taking that timeout as you called for, Josh, as Warren Central starting to smell this one.
That's just poor clock management right there. You got to keep in mind if Gibson was going to go down, you still had 3 timeouts to use.
Well, the MIG Network would like to take this time to welcome back Papa John's as a title partner for the MIG Network Game of the Week. With over 30 locations in the central Indiana area, great pizzas always nearby. So after the game, enjoy a hot, delicious Papa John's pizza. Better.
All right, we're going to jump over to another close matchup. Decatur Central, Mooresville still rolling right now. Lots of time left in the fourth. Decatur Central trailing Mooresville 21-17. And again, this has been one of many great games we've been able to stick with throughout the evening. This one's still close and so much time that, you know, the advantage that Mooresville has, really nothing that they should be too comfortable with.
Yeah, this you see Kenny Tracy, number 13 there for Decatur Central. He's the main weapon, especially in a game like this. I'm sure they're going to lean on him here as they get inside the 30-yard line. He's a Division I caliber athlete with a couple offers, and he's a good one. The Tracy's, there's always Tracy's at Decatur Central, and he's kind of next in line.
Absolutely. So we'll take it away with the call and see what happens next.
Delayed handoff is Tracy again. He's got space, hurdles over one tackler, continues to drag the pile inside the 10-yard line. First down, Hawks, and they're in business in the red zone.
The running game has finally picked up. It took them all 2.5, 3 quarters to finally establish it, but the running game is now there. So now Mooresville can't just simply load the box and play the pass. They now have to play.
All right, we're going to jump back over to this Ben Davis game, and even though they're down still, you can see some celebrating. Looks like they just had a big completion that's going to keep their hopes alive in this close matchup. Again, they're still down 17-14. Unfortunately, a little bit of buffering going on. If you've watched enough Netflix, you know what that little spinning wheel means, but it's all good. But all you need to know is that Ben Davis is still very much in this game. Again, we're a little over a minute. We'll see if the ref doesn't put a damper on those hopes for Ben Davis, but it doesn't look like it's going to be an issue. So again, this one's still real tight. I'm going to get out the way and let the call do its thing, and we watch this action as it finishes up.
For the Warren Central Warriors, the Ben Davis Giants inching closer, however.
a minute left here. You definitely need to push the tempo.
Handoff, Hassel. Robledo going to drag him down right at the 38-yard line as the Giants looking to go up-tempo. Remember, 3 points could tie it here for the Ben Davis Giants.
But you got to figure, what is the range of Zach Fox here? Like you said, Logan, he's only kicked a 30, as long of the year as a 33-yard field goal. So if you're going to guess by that 35, 33-yarder, need to get it to inside the 20.
Gibson rolling left side. Fires one again to Carnell. What a play again. Down at the 29-yard line. First down, Ben Davis with 25 seconds on the clock.
And this is exactly why Carnell is getting all of these high major Division I offers for football. It's because of plays like that. Using his athleticism, and it looked like there was going to be nothing there, but Carnell using his frame, bringing it down, keeping his feet in bounds, and keeping this Ben Davis drive alive with under 30 to go.
Mentioned the Giants still with some timeouts on the board. Have some room to work now with 25 seconds. Gibson, again out of the shotgun. Warriors bringing blitz. Handoff, Hassel. And he's brought down right at the 28-yard line, and a quick timeout from Coach Simmons will leave Ben Davis with one timeout remaining with 22 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
Oh, man, Logan, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. I am just, man, this is just a fantastic finish to another classic in the Circle City Showdown.
We always say throw out the stats, throw out the records, throw them all out in these rivalry games. You never know what could happen. An up and down affair where both teams in that first half moved the ball so well and their drives ended in turnovers or ended with a missed field goal. Both teams had one of those. It was 7-0 at halftime. Hassel got in for a 33-yard score, but then it was Warren Central that got things going in that second half. They got themselves on the board as well with a scoop and score by Willie Eaton and then a late field goal from Joe Jackson. And you just saw here in the fourth quarter, Derek Allen grabbing in a 25-yard touchdown pass as Warren Central got up late, but it's been a back-and-forth battle, and right now it's Ben Davis who might get the last say.
Well, we'll see, Logan. You can see the desperation for this Ben Davis Giants squad. They have been hungry for a win, especially.
Just want to give you a quick score update on that other close game that we've been watching. That's been Decatur Central and Mooresville. Right now, Decatur Central, after a touchdown from Javon Tracy, makes that game 24-21 in their favor over Mooresville. So, again, that one's been close. Still quite a bit of time left in the fourth. So we'll be back with another look at that in a moment as this big Ben Davis-Warren Central game winds down.
And he will be brought down, still churning those feet right at the 7-yard line with 14 seconds to go as the Giants are going to look to clock this thing.
Well, you still have one timeout here, but smart move by the Ben Davis offense. With the clock stopped, you want to spike it here, save that timeout in case they get knocked down in bounds.
What a play here from Ben Davis. 12 seconds, ball on the 8-yard line. Second and goal with one timeout remaining. Oh my goodness, this game always delivers. And at this point, with 12 seconds, one timeout, the run is still available.
Certainly, Logan. And like we said, they still have one timeout to use. So the entire field is available to you, and you do have multiple options to take shots to the end zone. What you don't want to do here, Logan, is turn the ball over, clearly. But you also want to make sure that you don't even back yourselves up further because you are in field goal range for Zach Fox.
Absolutely. Watch out for Dalen Carnell, isolated up top. Gibson keeps it himself, and he's chopped down right at the 9-yard line. Timeout comes in from Coach Simmons with 8 seconds to go.
At the very least, that moves the ball closer to center field, gives Zach Fox an easier range to kick the field goal. Remember, he missed a field goal earlier on in this game from around this part of the field on the left side. So if you can get this ball towards the center, even towards the right, it's going to put Zach Fox in better position to make this kick if they do have to kick it.
Well, here's the scenario. 3rd and 8. 8 yards to go for what would be the go-ahead touchdown. Ball right, like Josh said, in the middle of the field. No more timeouts.
All right, we just want to give you another update, another big game. It sounds like we got that Carmel game is heating up.
Yeah, we're watching a great game in the MIC. Another good one tonight. Lawrence North 17-17 with Carmel. Would be a big upset. Donovan McCulley with a touchdown pass to Omar Cooper. That's been a great combination for Lawrence North this season. So upset brewing here possibly if Ben Davis can win. And again, possibly Lawrence North and Carmel could be a big upset as well.
Absolutely. So we'll see how they handle it. Not much time to do much else except for either decide if you're going to take a shot at the end zone or send out your kicker to try and tie this thing up. So let's take it away with the call and see what they decide to do.
And it looks like that's what they just might do here as Coach West is taking a timeout. Wanted to see the formation that Ben Davis came out with, and they're going to burn one of their timeouts. Smart play there from the coaching staff of the Warriors.
You almost wonder with that formation if that was going to be a rollout to the right side. I mean, you had 3 receivers flooded there. So, again, good call by Jason West, calling the timeout, just getting a look offensively or getting a look of the Ben Davis offense and just give themselves some extra minutes to consider how they're going to play this.
Well, we'd like to take this time to thank our partners, Papa John's and the Marriott East, for making coverage of mixed sports possible. Both have been instrumental in our 4 years of providing the best coverage of high school sports and giving our student crew members a great opportunity to develop their skills. We hope you'll make it a point to support them because they continue to support our students.
Well, Logan, while we have a quick break, Lawrence North and Carmel with a little over a minute left are tied at 17. Donovan McCulley found Omar Cooper for a 16-yard touchdown pass in the closing minutes of the 4th quarter. Man, how good have those two been?
Omar Cooper making a name for himself just like Dalen Carnell is here in this game.
They're going to change up the formation now instead of a 1 by.
All right, so again, big play. This is pretty much it, and we're going to watch it happen live here on IndyStar Friday Night Live, presented by Bath Experts. Ben Davis is going for it. They say they want the touchdown, not going to try and settle for the field goal. Oh.
And that gives you how much time left, Justin?
Few seconds maybe. The clock wasn't ticking at the time there on the graphic there, but it looks like it will give them time to at least tie this up and maybe go into overtime. But I like them taking a shot at it. That's how I would do it.
You still have time. You just don't want to turn it over like you mentioned. And good play, good break up there.
Yeah.
I think that's he put the ball about the only place you could put it. That's a good play call. Now you try to tie the game up and send this thing to overtime. And there you see Jason Simmons, the Ben Davis coach, really needing this win, really hoping to get it. And there's the field goal attempt, and it's blocked.
And the kick is blocked.
The kick's blocked. That's just a flag's on the field, though. Flags on the field, we'll see what it is.
And that has got to be tough. But if that block kick stands, it goes back to, like you talked about earlier, Ben Davis had a lead earlier in this game. Mentioned the issues with the turnovers. That turnover leading directly to Warren Central getting the touchdown they needed to go ahead in this thing. So they're going to remember that play, no matter how this shakes out, for the rest of the night. Even if they were able to tie things up and get a win, they'll remember that turnover was crucial and made this game an uphill climb, even if they were to somehow hold on to it and bring this back.
And there you saw Kevin Brown, the head official there. They always have a great crew. So I'm curious to see, did he jump over the line there? And that's illegal if you do that. But I don't know. I'm not sure what they called here. This would be a heartbreaker for Ben Davis.
All right. So refs thinking about it, talking about it.
See what Kevin says here. The white hat.
He's walking like he's got something important to share with everyone watching in the stadium and everyone watching with us here on IndyStar Friday Night Live. And again, this has been a heck of a game.
Officials are talking to Jason West.
So it's on Warren.
It's a penalty on Warren
and
Central.
That'll give Ben Davis another shot.
That's going to give Ben Davis
one
now
more
a
opportunity.
second opportunity.
Oh, my goodness. I spoke too soon.
I would think they would try the field goal again, although maybe you try to just go for it. Got the kick blocked anyway. Maybe you try to go for it.
Man, this is tough. And on a scale of 1 to 10, if they send you back out to kick, I don't know the pressure you feel. It's got to not be a great feeling to have one of the most important kicks of your season get blocked in front of you, but at least you get another shot to either have victory or live through pain once again. So let's find out how this young man bounces back and how this shakes out. This has just been a heck of a game. Our MIC Network Game of the Week, by the way, that you can watch in its entirety on IndyStar.com, and it has lived up to the hype. And, of course, a timeout. Because
and now, Warren had too many. It looked like they had too many guys on the field, so now they've got to call a timeout. Russ Mann, you saw the defensive coordinator going out there on the field and getting that timeout. all kinds of crazy things happening in this game, and it usually does when these two teams meet. It's always a crazy game, a fun rivalry. Two of the best. These two programs are combined for 18 state championships between the two of them, 9 apiece. So they're two of the best in the state, and another great one in the series here. And if I'm Jason Simmons, the Ben Davis coach, I might just go for this thing. I mean,
really?
Yeah. I mean, if you just got that one blocked, I think he'll probably try to kick it again. But you're 3 yards away. You're sitting here 1-3, and of course I can sit here and say that. But, it's his job on the line, of course, not mine. But I don't know. I'd be tempted. But you got a team on the ropes like this. I think it'd be. You could roll the dice maybe if you're not totally sold on your kicking game.
Right on, a little armchair coaching, nothing wrong with
that.
But I'm with you. You go for it, because if you make it happen, this is going to be something legendary that these teams and these players are going to remember. So we're going to see how this shakes out. This is a big moment here. You think maybe some trickery might be possible here?
A fake? I'm sure the Warren's coaches is yelling, watch for the fake. So I don't know.
Let's see what happens.
Kick it, and he hit it.
And that kick is good. So that is going to tie things up 17. All that is huge.
Right.
And again, that is our MIC Network Game of the Week. You can watch that game in its entirety on IndyStar.com, which you're probably going to want to do because that game is not over.
Yeah.
And that
I want to see the end of that one.
That is awesome. And you know what? You're joining me for the first time on Friday Night Live. I wanted to promise you a fun evening out. I don't want to have anyone have a upsetting or bad Friday night when you're hanging out with me. Did you have fun on this week's show?
I had a blast. I think I'm going to write about it for my Sunday 5 things we learned a little bit. Just the experience. It was a fun night.
Well, hopefully you say only good things about the show, the experience, my tie, all complimentary. I really, really need that. I want to thank everyone who's joined us on another Friday night. This is IndyStar Friday Night Live presented by Bath Experts. And of course, as always, I want to take a quick moment to shout out all of our network partners who help make this possible. That's Indiana SRN, which brought us 2 games, Fisher Sports Network, the MIC Network, our MIC Network Game of the Week, Warren Central, Ben Davis, still rolling in its entirety on IndyStar.com, the IHSAA Champions Network, bit of a tongue twister, it's been a long night, Hamilton County TV, the CG Gridiron Network, Rebel Media Network, MHS Rewind, that awesome student-run program, and can't forget about our friends WHMB TV 40. So a lot of big games we're able to bring you tonight, and it's been a whole lot of fun.
It has been. It has been a great night of football. Fun to see, bounce around and watch a lot of these games. I'm normally at one, which is great, but seeing all these games it's been enjoyable.
Right on. You can kind of see I kind of got the best seat in the house when it comes to Friday Night Football, and you've got it too as long as you tune in. And we'll be back for more action next week, same time, 7 o'clock, IndyStar Friday Night Live, presented by Bath Experts. For Cowden and Rip, I'm your host, Justin Mack. Have an awesome weekend.